Hello, and welcome to another episode of Worlds Beyond! You're here joining us at Geek Space TV, and I am not sick today. It's great! Thank you so much for putting up with the fact. I had a small infection from the Strange. Don't know what it was. Probably a bad translation. After going to the Emerald City Comic Con recursion, and turned out that just did not end well for me. So
be fine.
Yeah,
I blame the stage.
Make sure you take a paradox with you when you translate, so that they can re-roll. Otherwise, you might have to roll on that table and get the flu.
Wait, what?
Yeah, didn't you know if you roll a 76, that is the flu?
Oh,
Your characters just all get the flu.
It's a good thing I'm a paradox.
Yeah.
I do just like the idea of like, and the worst thing happens, you have to miss work for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And throw up a lot.
Thankfully, I did not have that. So hi everyone, welcome in. It's lovely to see all of you here. We have another episode in store for you of Worlds Beyond, which if you are unfamiliar with this, or you happen to be just joining us, is our RPG using the Cypher system from Monte Cook Games. I believe they still have a Kickstarter going, which is for Numenera content that is compatible with 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons or similar systems. Numenera is also another system that they've come up with that's just a slightly different setting, but it gives you like cool, weird, magic-y future techie stuff that you can incorporate into other RPGs. And there is a specific link in chat. You can head over there and check out their Kickstarter. Consider supporting them. Monte Cook is a lovely company. They're also based out of Seattle, and that's pretty great because we're biased and we like Seattle. And sorry, I just heard what chat said.
Yeah.
We've been asking him that same thing.
It's a work in progress.
You missed some stuff before the stream started. But the Strange setting, essentially in this setting, our lovely travelers, our party members, they travel to different recursions, which are these little reality dimensions that normally take on a specific theme, and stuff tends to happen there, and it's interesting. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. You might notice we don't currently have a bonsai baby, because she is over at a convention in the East Coast, so if you're at PAX East, you should try and say hello to her. So unfortunately, she will not be here tonight, but don't worry, I have plans for Dale. What?
I have a plan too. Are you ready for my plan?
Yes.
Dale's a halfling in this recursion, so whenever the camera peers to him, you just can't see him. He's just out of the shot.
Oh, we see just like the tips of Dale's ears every time the camera pans over.
They're super dirty.
Why are the tips of your ears so dirty?
It's Dale. Who knows?
It catches all the dust wind.
There's some questions stick out. It just catches all the dust wind.
I'm at filth height.
I'm just saying, like that is one of the possible answers for why. Yeah.
I kind of wish we now just had like a set of ears, like right here, right? Like we're on camera, I guess it would be like right here, just like little elf ears.
Yep.
I wonder.
No, I don't think we can make this happen.
Wait, what just happened? Wait, we can do that?
Happening.
We can do that?
No,
My goal is to not do that this game.
because I know which camera you're next to.
I'm regretting putting that monitor there.
Hey, Chad, have you seen Baby Shark?
So, hi everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. If you happen to be new here, we are Geek Space TV, a nonprofit broadcasting studio in Seattle, and we are delighted to present lots of awesome content for you, like this show. If you would like to help support us in creating said content, there's a lot of ways you can do it. You're already doing one of them, which is being here, hanging out, watching the stream. You can also help us out through financial donations. You can see a goal down below for the monies. Those goals will help us fund future shows and make more content here and go towards other fun things that we want to do, mostly funding more shows. And you can also support us over on Patreon with a regular monthly amount, which is super awesome because it helps us predict things and pay our rent and other stuff like that. Main reminders / announcements. I believe it's not the final episode. Oh, no, I think there's one episode left. It's the final episode, right?
No.
Of Night Witches.
Oh.
Not this show.
Yeah.
The final episode of Night Witches is this Saturday at 3 p.m. Pacific time, so you should come and watch that. I suspect there will also be feelings and probably bombs being dropped from airplanes, because those are 2 core tenets of that show.
Truth bombs.
Truth bombs, but also like real ones. Well, real narrative, fictional ones.
Real, not real.
Yeah, not real ones.
Yeah.
Being dropped.
Narrative.
So come watch
Narrative
that.
Narrative truth bombs.
What?
No, because that's like story bombs.
That'll be this Saturday. You should come watch it. It's gonna be great. And I think that's pretty much it in terms of announcements. Yeah. So let's go ahead and introduce our players, who they are, their characters, their pronouns, their characters' pronouns, and then I'll remind us what has happened because it's been 2 weeks. Because that's the awesome part. We're all in the same space. We can put our hands on all of the cameras.
We can do that.
Wait, where is
Don't touch that one.
but that does mean that when I had the flu, there was a very high probability that I would give it to everyone else, and that's the bad kind of present. So we didn't have a show last week. All right, with that, who are you?
Hello, I'm Shell Game. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter and Instagram because I'm finally posting on Instagram again because I logged into Instagram on my phone, which does a lot for posting on Instagram. Surprising when that happens. Anyway, my pronouns are she, her. My character, Anon Nisi's pronouns are also she, her. And she is an appealing paradox who leads in this particular recursion and has a very big problem with a specific someone who is joining them in this particular recursion.
I think you translate in this recursion. Shady
No.
translates
Oh,
focus,
did
or
I take translates?
Oh, no, 'cause
I
Cetus
think
is
I.
there.
Yeah,
That's
Cetus
right.
is with us. I think I had translates for when I was on Earth.
That makes sense. Yeah. Forgot.
Oh yes, and Cetus. Cetus is a little purple dogs. Well, he's not so little. He's pretty big in this recursion. He's like kind of a like those wolfhound sort of look. He comes up to like hip height, I guess. And he looks really terrifying, but he's real sweet inside. Yeah. Cetus.
Who are you?
My overall just came unsnapped.
So you're a wardrobe malfunction.
Hey, it's your boy. What is Kiss, aka Nathan Kiss, aka ASMR Note Schwarzenegger, aka that was dumb. AKA dropping truth bombs just to let you know that squirrels are just rats with insurance. AKA Oswald Dukes, a lucky spinner that in this recursion channels Sinfire. My pronouns as well as my character's pronouns are he, him, and I'm here to make sure that this goes off with no conflict at all.
With insurance?
Squirrels are just rats with insurance.
I thought it was rats with good PR.
I mean, good PR means you have good insurance.
It just comes with the territory.
Truth bombs.
Who are you?
Hi, I'm Jackie Dash, Jakidash. Ding.
Oh,
Oh no.
And my own personal pronouns are she, her, but I am playing in the Pines with this guy was Night. I took a breath. Who is a graceful vector. His pronouns are he, him. He goes by Pine Knight. How you doing? He slays dragons. He is definitely not dealing with feelings. Because there's nothing wrong that is with what's happening. It's everything Pine wanted since he started this quest.
Hey there, I'm Janine, otherwise known as Admiral Asma on the Twitters, and I'm playing Captain Jade Atwood, who is a one-armed vector with a sordid past of apparently having children with
I mean, he wasn't
recursion.
king at the time.
No, he wasn't. Makes it better.
Your baby daddy's prince?
Anywho,
So proud of you.
my pronouns are she, her, as are my characters.
And I am Random Tuesday. My pronouns are she, her, and I will be their GM and your GM for this evening. So, let's backtrack a little bit. I think some of the salient points, again, this is a group of recursors. So they currently work for an organization called the Estate. They travel to all of these different dimensions, these other little pocket realities. Sometimes they look for artifacts, they find things, they look for people, they get in trouble. All of them, there's been a lot of personal quests. They've rescued Jade from dying or nearly dying and being consumed by a monster from the Strange, which is this sort of dimension or space in between realities. They found Oz's fiance, still fiance, although they are actually getting married despite her lack of understanding. She doesn't really get weddings because she's not from this reality or from Earth. She's from from Oz. She is in fact the Wicked Witch of the West. Turns out he also had 2 kids, not just one. So that was pretty great, I think. Okay. They dealt with Dracula. Just offhandedly. And Pine, our dearest Pine Knight, has been on a personal quest. Looking for the Sage. The Sage being a very important person from his reality, from his recursion, Zanzut. And the Sage is the Sage. They are wise and smart and there to defend Zanzut, and they went on a mighty quest with Pine in tow to look for something that would save their recursion from getting destroyed. But tragically, Pine was separated from the Sage. And it turns out that the Sage is maybe not everything that Pine expected. He is perhaps more of a charlatan, one might say. He used to work for the Estate, the same organization that they still work for now. He disappeared, probably intentionally at some point, and is now currently in a bit of hot water with the King and Queen of Astoria. Where he may or may not have made a deal with a dragon, which involved giving the dragon their daughter, the princess, and in exchange, the dragon would stop attacking the kingdom. And it seemed like a pretty sweet deal at the time, but it did not work for currently a non-entirely known reason, probably because the Sage, I believe, said he promised an unlimited supply of princesses, and he has not delivered on that. So the dragon has currently been attacking. And he is on a quest to make amends for this. If he is able to do so, then he will be freed from his fate, which is to be executed for treason. So yeah, he's kind of hoping to not get executed for treason by dealing with the dragon somehow. And this group, this lovely group of adventurers, partially because Pine was adamant that he was going to help the Sage, are there to not necessarily help, but definitely not hinder and ensure that the Sage does not somehow duck out on his responsibilities towards the King and Queen of Astoria. I believe at least Anon would like to gut him in his sleep, but or wake. I don't think she cares. I think she just wants to kill him.
Yeah.
But he's So, but last time he made a deal with Jade that Jade will make sure Anon does not kill him, and in exchange he will ensure that Pine.
Did I promise that?
Yeah,
You did.
That was his stipulation. He was like, I will break Pine's heart if you
I
make sure
forgot
that
about
your
that
group,
part.
that your team, especially Anon, does not kill me. That was the deal. The agreement that he made was, y'all don't get to kill me, but I will break Pine's heart after, and then leave and never see you again after dealing with this dragon. Yep, that was he was
Yeah.
very adamant. Then you spit shaked on it, and
That's
that
right.
was more or less where we ended
the
the
left
last
hand.
episode. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that more or less covers everything. We know
Did
that
a fight?
we got into a fight at the end. We know that Dale isn't a human. I think that's all the important stuff for this episode. I was like, I feel like there was like one other thing that led us to this moment in time, but probably not. Question?
Maybe.
Comment? Concern?
No, I wasn't sure if it was going to be mentioned that for the record, I fought a Dracula and a wolf person.
Well, we are currently in the midst of a fight. They ran into the forest after maybe getting lost. It's unclear. They were totally not lost. No, I think Oz was very confident that he knew where he was going.
Didn't know where I was going.
Didn't know where he was going. And so they went through the woods because the woods were clearly the best choice to get to the Long Dark, I believe is what we finally named the mountain. No, the Tall Dark.
The
The
Tall
Tall Dark. the mountain, tall, dark, and handsome. And they heard a scream. They ran into the woods, well, some of them did, and they encountered a very large, snarling wolf. And I believe they are now in the midst of fighting this wolf, except for Jade, who, while they were fighting the wolf, made a deal with the sage.
Took care of the horses.
Also took care of the horses, but Jade's having some feelings about whether or not fighting is a good idea. So, I believe, and this is the setup that I remember, and correct me if this is slightly wrong. We have this clearing, this sort of like small space between trees in the woods, and there is the wolf, and Pine, and Dale, and Oz are all kind of in this melee combat with it. And then I think Anon, did you move closer?
I
That was
think
the thing
I
I couldn't
did
remember.
move closer, and I can't remember what I did with Cetus though. I told Cetus to. Oh no, I told Cetus to watch the sage.
Yeah,
that's right.
Cetus is watching the sage right now. That's right. So I think we all, and there was this larger clearing where we ditched the horses. That was like the central point. So we have short range of the wolf here, and then we have long range, and then we have straight up out of range, which is where Jade is currently, which is outside of the woods. So everybody is currently in short range. Because if you are at long range, you can't really see super clearly, so you have some, so there's some penalty. And we're at the top of the order, which is going to be Oz. I think we see Dale, I don't remember, I feel like Dale will mostly just be assisting. So Dale can count as a help for one person, which will make it one step easier for someone. So if someone's like, oh, this would be a thing that would help me, then we can decide if Dale is helping you. And I think that's probably the easiest thing for this fight, because the thing that I have, what's happening to Dale happens after this fight. So we have this snarling wolf. It's large, probably easily 10 foot from snout to tail, dripping blood out of its mouth. A small scrap of red fabric had been caught and torn there and kind of like fell on the ground as it turned around and snarled at each and all of you. And it's definitely snapped a few bites, I think, out of Oz, or at least tried to.
No, I got me.
And now it is the top of the order in this clearing. What would you like to do, Oz?
Is the wolf still blinded?
Do you took out, it's not, you only got one eye.
One eye. So
You
it's half
stabbed it
blinded.
and lit it on fire, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, you stabbed it in the eye with a flaming dagger.
Effective.
Like you do.
I just wanted that to be said for the record.
Yeah. I mean, you're cool. It's fine.
It's legal now. I am going to just get another fire blast ready. Can I just ready it for when it approaches to launch an attack?
It's your turn. Do you want to attack it?
I was going to wait for it to come at one of us first before attacking.
So when it attacks, you'll have to roll your defense, but there's no, like, interrupt action in this system unless you tell me, like, something very specific you would like to do.
Yes.
Like, if you want to specifically help someone defend themselves, like, I'll let you take the action to automatically increase whatever defense roll you have to make.
No, actually, I changed that because I just realized I'm playing the wrong game now in my head.
Were
I'm
you
so
trying
sorry.
to, like, do a reaction or, like, something?
Yep, played a different game on Saturday. I completely messed up everything. Sorry, no.
You trying to play some DFA over here?
I was
Because I
gonna jump on
guarantee
its
you
head.
roll way
I'm
fewer
gonna,
dice.
I'm gonna jump on its head. Actually, what I am going to do is encourage for the other party members for their defense rolls for this round. Encourage for defense rolls for this round.
Okay, so you're going to use your action to encourage everybody, so you will all have a boost, including yourself.
Yes.
Does it count for yourself?
Everybody within a thing. I'm not sure if it's for me. I don't think it's for me because I can't do it and take an action.
Yeah, but you still roll your own defense, so that's an interesting one. Because
Yeah.
for the other two, it makes sense that you don't get to use it, right? Because your action is the thing, but
Yeah.
you still roll a defense.
I don't think so.
Ah.
Hmm.
I
We'll
mean,
see.
how good do you think Oz is at giving himself a pep talk?
Better now. He has 2 years of confidence in him. So much better now. Yeah. He spaced the wolf and saw into its jaws and stared in the eye, and only one stared back. He's ready. And he learned something about wolves. Not all wolves are the same wolf.
Yeah.
Turns out.
Thanks for playing that clip again. I
Thank
forgot
you.
about that. Anon, what would you like to do then? You feel motivated. How do you encourage everybody to be better at defending themselves?
Remember, even though it might be bigger, it's still just a wolf. It's just a big dog, a savage dog that may have been a person or may eat people, but it's still just a dog and a wolf and has one eye now, so we know what to do. Attack it from its blind side.
Inan's gonna listen to that and be like, oh, just a dog. And she's gonna look at it and she's gonna go, sit. And I'm gonna use command on it.
I think you still have to roll.
I think so. I was just
It's
reading
an
through
action.
that. It is an action.
Yeah. Cool. All right.
I don't know which dice to use.
All of them. Wait, no, one of them.
One of them. This was the one instinct said first. We're gonna figure out
Alright.
if those are good instincts. In a 17.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So what does this look like when Anon says this?
I think she's just like, oh right, dog, and she looks and she's like, sit.
And we see this wolf like it kind of has this sort of like a dog when they get like something stuck on their face for a minute, like what is that? And just sort of like disgruntledly sits down. And it's definitely, you get this impression that like, because technically all it has to do is obey the command sit. So you probably don't want to get closer to it, but it's sitting. But it's like doing that like,
Can't keep the.
yeah, it can't quite keep his butt all the way down. It's like, and it's like steps, its jaws at each of you if anyone is close enough. You are definitely not close enough. I think you're within short range, and so are you
I am
in
immediate.
melee? Okay.
Yeah, 'cause
I
I
think it
had
can
to-
still snap at you.
Yeah, for sure. But I gotta
It'll definitely be one step easier for you because it's forced to stay in the same spot, and so it like sees you. You have a big stick, and now you're treating it like a dog, and it's like, and it just tries to grab you or grab your stick.
Throw the stick.
All right. I get a bonus in speed defense. I get a bonus from his.
Yep.
All right.
And you have a bonus from Anon, so it is 3 steps easier for you.
12.
Yeah. How do you dodge?
I think Pine listens to the advice of moving to its blind spot, and
Nice.
as it probably like nips at its hindquarters for a second because it's trying to figure out what's holding it down, and then when it does that,
And it is your turn.
and then I bring down the glaive. Gracefully and artfully, I would like to stab it. In the side.
Please gracefully and artfully stab it in the side.
All right, if you guys don't remember, Pine is a vector, which means he's already practiced in all weapons, which means I can use a heavy weapon without any penalty, which is great. I'm trained in heavy weapons, so I get a bonus 1 dice for attack rolls.
So you are so you're trained in heavy weapons, which means it's 1 step easier to attack.
Yep, and I'm also practiced.
Practice means you don't get the penalty.
Yes.
So you can use the heavy weapon. So it's still only 1 step easier.
Okay, that's good.
Do you have anything else that applies to attacks?
Um,
I don't think so.
No, everything else applies to damage,
Okay.
so I'm just gonna damage it.
Yeah. Roll it.
I actually would like to apply 1 tier of effort
Okay.
into my.
Cool. We're gonna make it 2 steps easier.
Yeah. 19.
Yeah. So with a 19, you could also deal 3 extra damage if you would like.
Yeah, I will take the 3 extra damage. I'll take the 4 damage from the heavy weapon, and then I'll take the
Heavy
1.
weapons are 6.
The 6 damage from the heavy weapon, and then I get 1 damage with extra from slaying dragons.
Okay. So 6 plus 3 plus 4, so 10 points of damage.
Yeah.
Please describe what this looks like as you rend this wolf in two.
I think Pine had felt that fear when the beast howled before, and Pine is continuing to fight that. And as he's fighting that fear, he is remembering the moments where his stick was much shorter, his limbs were the same length, but he was much slimmer, and just this practiced sweep of like side up, and it's like a pull rip. And I think he's going to aim that glaive directly in between where the leg and the stomach meets and do that same quickened pull rip as he then takes his aim.
Yes. So as you slice this wolf open, we see it collapse on the ground. As it collapses, it stays as a wolf, but we see out of its stomach, like, there's a lot of blood, obviously, because you just cut it open. And a small child definitely tumbles out. And they are wearing a red cloak, as you might imagine, from the torn fabric, and just covered in, like, slime and viscera, and they just sort of cough as they... And then they just kind of faint.
Anon's gonna
Yeah.
run and try and like
I would not.
catch him.
And they look like they're maybe about 10 years old. As she just
Oh.
sort of like, maybe even younger, maybe more like 8. She just sort of like collapses in your arm, and this wolf like twitches a last few times as its entrails bleed out on the ground.
I try to resuscitate.
Okay. Yeah. How do you want to do that?
It's just, I'm gonna start singing Under Pressure in my head, and apply sort of like medium to a heavy force on. I'm gonna roll for it.
Your finger.
I haven't heard Under Pressure for it. I always heard Staying Alive.
Yeah. Under pressure works too.
So yeah, I'm gonna put all the tears of effort into this.
Okay. This is an intellect task.
Dope. So the 4 edge really takes the edge off.
How many levels of effort are you putting in?
3.
Then you automatically succeed. It was a demanding task. So Anon, you kind of like go and pick up this girl. She's like, it's slimy and kind of bloody and just like disgusting. It smells foul. Like, bowels do not smell good when they are opened to the air. And you sort of hold her, and Oz, you kind of go over, and there's a little bit of like turning her. You kind of do that. You basically have to get all of the fluid out of her lungs, and you sort of turn her over and cough it out. She coughs up some more of this blood, and then slowly starts sort of rousing, and she kind of opens up and like looks over, and she's like, "Oh, you killed Grandma." As she looks over at the body of the wolf.
I definitely was looking, like, Pine was, like, just poking to be like, is there more? Is there more?
You're
like,
just like,
it's like, I'm just like,
Fight over?
there's no one else inside the
okay.
wolf.
I'm also going to do the, like, she's wearing, like, Little Red is wearing clothes, correct?
Yes, she is
Okay.
fully dressed.
Okay, so not like, this
it-
isn't like a baby wolf.
Does Pine like say that? And
I think Pine is just like, you can tell Pine taking some extra time being like,
I love this so much.
she sort of like rouses, just like, thank you. Oh, you saved my life.
Oh, I'm so glad you're awake. What's your name, sweetheart?
Red.
Red. Are you hungry?
Oh, okay.
Are you hungry?
Yes. I don't remember a lot about what happened. I was eaten by Grandma.
That's Grandma.
It's not really Grandma. The
Oh
wolf
no, it's
with
definitely Grandma.
It,
Look at how much big teeth she has.
I know, but that's only more for her to eat you. That's probably the last thing she said before she gobbled you down.
No, that was a little bit before that.
So your grandma, has she always been a wolf?
No.
Are her eyes bigger than they usually are?
Well, they were this time.
Is her nose bigger than usually is?
This time.
Yeah, and she a lot more hairier than she usually is?
Yeah, but that's normal.
No, that's not what grandmas do. Oh, poor
Yeah, it
child.
is. Grandmas always turn into wolves, and then sometimes they eat you.
I understand this. Everything goes through changes.
Oh, no.
She was a werewolf.
No. That's
no.
just what.
There's,
Those are on the other side of the kingdom.
Oh, she's not a werewolf?
No. She's just a grandma.
do you have a caretaker or another grown up around, like, I don't know, a huntsman
Well-
or an axeman?
My mom sent me to
Or
bring
person.
flowers to Grandma. What are the flowers? Oh no, I lost them. They must be inside Grandma.
They're gone now.
Oh.
Anon's gonna like lead her away from Grandma.
Yeah, let's
And be
head
like,
back out
"Oh,
to the.
Yeah, let's.
We have a campfire, and at the very
Do you
least,
have clean clothes? I think I'm covered in
Grandma, yeah.
I've got something. I'm sure that will.
Oh, who are you? Are you safe strangers? Are you also going to turn into wolves and eat me?
Not usually. No. I mean, I've never eaten anyone. I have
Oh.
turned into a wolf before. Just full disclosure.
And
You should
not
know
a
that up
grandma,
front.
by the way. Not a grandma.
No.
Not a grandma.
You're
by
not
the
a
way.
grand. Oh,
I'm not.
because I was going to say you look quite young for a grandma.
Thank you. Grandmas come in all shapes and sizes. I'm Anon.
I'm red.
Hi,
She
Red.
reaches out and you shake her hand. You're
It's
already
all-
covered
yeah,
in
it's
like
just-
the gross and
There's no way that these scarves are coming back from the dry cleaners now.
no.
I'm Oswald. I'm Oswald, and just want to say that usually you shouldn't talk to strangers, right?
Oh, okay. And then she just starts
But
leaving.
I wasn't done speaking yet. There was a tone in the tone. But it's still dangerous.
I'm
and
sorry,
it's-
were you not done?
I wasn't done talking.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, it was no.
it's very
fine.
rude of
But
me.
this is one of those situations where after being released from the insides of a predator, we should probably go back to where your mom is and hand you off to your mom.
Okay.
So we're safe strangers, is what we're saying.
Well, that
when-
seems perfectly reasonable. I have no reason to doubt these strangers telling me that they're completely safe.
We don't.
So literal.
We are stronger than the
a
strangers you have
literary
met
figure.
before, so obviously we are safer. As Pine picks up his blade and just starts to
Well, that-
aim the shot to behead this wolf.
Grandma wasn't a
Run
stranger.
away. Turns her away.
Hey, do you like horses?
Sort of.
I thought you were a horse girl.
No, I'm not. I mean, if I have children, then they have children, then I'll become a grandma. And I guess I'll eat them.
No, that's not what life is. Ooh.
Yes, it is.
Okay, I gotta.
think it is here.
I think it is here. You're right. I'm gonna
So
take
do
it.
you start leading her out of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Like
sorry.
Anon has sort of taken her hand and is as
Yeah, and she's just slimy as you kind of hold her as she comes out of the stomach, and you get the impression that some of this is shock. Like she just can't. She just got eaten, so she's just sort of processing it by being very compliant.
How dumb is she? Because is she wrong?
You don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, how many grandmas in this recursion have you met?
Can I do a genre specialist check? Just kind of
Sure.
figure out. I'm just gonna put one tier of effort into this and see what happens.
What'd you get?
I put a 1.
You rolled a natural
I
one.
rolled a natural 1.
This girl's probably just really, really stupid.
Oh, poor
Like,
child.
you've read Little Red Riding Hood.
Yeah.
The wolf ate grandma
All
and
of
the
them.
girl.
I
and
even
then
read the wolf
and
side
then
of
you-
it.
Then you kill the wolf, and that's the story.
Or
That's how it goes.
you give them a good old scare, and then just everyone coughs back up. There wasn't this much blood. and
No, there's a lot. Of
there's a
blood.
lot of blood. I didn't know
quite
wolves
visceral.
had that much blood in them.
I think once we get back to camp, Anon immediately
Do we have food?
tries to get her cleaned up and
Yeah, I got supplies.
So yeah, you arrive back at the camp, and what have you been doing this time? It's been maybe a minute or two.
I would say whittling, but that would take 2 hands.
Could hold
um,
one between your knee or something, or
Maybe. I think. I mean, I think
foot.
I've set up camp for the night.
okay, you're just
And,
working.
Yeah,
on setting up the
I'm
camp.
probably roasting a squirrel or something.
Yeah.
'Cause that squirrel
have
didn't have insurance.
No, it had life insurance. So
Oh.
it's
Oh,
squirrel
so
family
squirrel
as
family's
well.
gonna
Be well
yeah.
taken
I
care
think
of.
that was an
Okay.
inside
It talks to the
job.
duck.
I'll just
Fire
leave I'll bury a little gold coin next to it, walnut. I'll dig it up.
The start of the Scrooge McFortune.
So, yeah, I'll take the once we eat
Scrooge
the
McSquirrel.
squirrel, I'll take the little carcass, I'll put him on his back, I'll put 2 gold coins on his eyes, and then that's how that works, right? For squirrel family beneficiaries.
then they all put him on a little leaf and it sails down the river.
Papa went out for food. Where is he?
Well, he did go out for food. He just ended up being
Yeah.
food.
Okay,
So,
okay.
I want to play the squirrel recursion.
the I said the sword and the stone with the
Alright.
the Merlin squirrel
So-
version. Yeah. Yeah, I'm at camp. I roast. I probably roast more than one squirrel because it's several people in our
Yeah.
party.
Okay. So you're making camp. I think the sage, he is just. I mean, if you start a fire, he'll probably sit by it. I think he gives you as much space as you are willing to let him give you, and doesn't really say anything.
Great.
Kind of watches Cetus a little bit.
I hope Cetus is just like sitting there, like watching him back.
Oh,
he
yeah.
moves, and Cetus is like,
Yeah. I think sometimes he gets a little bored and he does like the pretends to throw the ball, and like
Cetus-
Cetus has this moment of like, oh no, I am good dog. Chase it. He just like throws a stick just to see what happens, and that's about it. So you come back and you have this small 8-year-old girl. She is currently in this recursion about as tall as Dale, who we clarified was 2, 3. I guess she's slightly taller than Dale. Dale is 2.5 feet tall, and she's 3.5 probably, because Dale's quite small right now. And you come out of the woods with this girl in a red cloak and a small, a little sort of knee-length dress, little frills and fluff, except covered in guts and viscera and blood, and her hair is plastered to her face, and she just looks like something bad has happened to her, but her eyes are kind of big and wide, and she just sort of is staring at everything that's happening around her, and it's just there are adults, I trust them now. As you lead her by the hand into this clearing, and she's like, there are more strangers?
yes, these are mostly our friends. He is not a friend. Avoid him. He is evil. But first,
Okay.
Jade, I'm going to. I assume there's do we pass a river or something where we can get rinsed off?
Probably, yeah.
We're gonna go rinse off really fast. Would you? My scarves are in the saddlebag. Would you bring them or send someone
Yeah.
with them?
Hi.
I'm Red.
I'm Jade.
Colors.
When you get cleaned off, I'll have some dinner for you.
Okay. Grandma ate me for dinner, but now Grandma's dead. I guess she's not hungry. I still need to make sure I bring flowers home. No, Mom doesn't want flowers.
Here, let's get cleaned up first, and then we can figure out what to do next.
Okay.
Yeah?
Maybe I
Alright.
shouldn't have children. Then my mom will eat them.
You're 8. Go.
It's funny about children. And as we walk, Anon will just steer the conversation into sort of having her focus on exactly what's happening in the here and now, and
Okay.
everything about the path, and trying to lure her out of shock and into reality.
little bit
in
more
a
cognizant.
safe way.
Even as she sort of comes out, and she starts getting probably really chatty. She's like, oh my goodness, I love this river. This is my favorite part. So down this river, there's this bank, and on this bank, that's the bank where and she's starts telling you stories about her friends Georgie and Porgy. And he had this pudding this one time, and then he put his thumb in it. No, that was a different person. And she just starts rattling off things.
Anon just listens. And she'll ask questions every so often.
You
to
know,
keep
I
the
don't
sort
know
of
why
flow
Miss
coming.
Muffet really likes curds and whey, but she does. She's just so into them. She hates spiders, though. Spiders are fine. They don't bother me.
Here, put this one on.
Okay.
Spiders don't bother you. You know, I know a lot of people who are terrified by spiders.
Mm-hmm.
Such as
Well, there's some giant ones in these woods.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's horrifying. Is this the fastest way to get up to the dragon?
Why are you trying to go to the mountain?
Oh, you know...
The tall dark?
Yeah,
It's very
the
tall
dark.
and quite dark.
It is both of those
Mhm.
things. Well, I'm just hoping to... You said there are spiders here. Are there any big spiders on the mountain?
Probably.
Oh.
I haven't gone that far. That's very, very far away. I was only allowed to go to grandmother's house in the woods.
Mhm.
And even then I was supposed to... Oh, no, I left the path.
Oh, no. It's important to stay on the path.
Well, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's probably how she caught me.
Well, you know, the good news is you're going to get home now, safe in one piece, and
Oh,
you'll have another chance.
that'll be nice.
Yeah. I assume this is
I only have 2 grandmas.
2 grandmas. Goodness. You know, I have 2 mothers.
So does that mean you have 4 grandmas?
No,
Oh.
I don't have any grandmas anymore.
Oh, did they eat you too?
No, they don't eat me in my recursion. They disappear in a ball of light that sprinkles fairy dust everywhere.
Wow.
It's really beautiful.
That sounds amazing.
We light incense so that they can
Oh.
rise up on the smoke.
Oh. Just like change and put on clean clothes. Do you bring her back to the camp?
Mhm.
Back at the camp, I think Dale wanders off and he starts looking for things. I don't know. He starts filling up his danglies
Yep.
with alchemical things. He's like, I'll be back.
Werewolf tooth.
Yeah.
Or
He's
just
like,
wolf.
you suspect Dale has gone back to take samples of Grandma.
No, Pine has removed them because Dale has asked. And that's
Oh
what
yes,
friends do.
yeah. And he's like shoving the stuff like bits of Grandma in the jar.
Keith.
Yeah. Well.
Oh my
So
gosh.
did everything go okay?
So the scream we heard was a little girl inside of a wolf. We took care of the wolf. Little Red Riding Hood. That was. She insists that the wolf's her grandma, and now I'm completely rethinking the entire story that I learned, and that was probably
I think
wrong.
maybe she still doesn't understand that the wolf was impersonating
She
her
was
grandma?
very adamant about that. I
Oh.
don't want to push that even any further.
Well, then in theory, I mean, her house should be somewhere within walking distance of here.
Shoot. We can't leave the girl here. We have to take her back home, but then the grandmother might be in trouble. There's a woodcutter out there somewhere just looking to chop something up. We need to get this girl home or to one of these people, otherwise.
I mean, in theory, if we left her, we could tell her to go on the path.
I
but she
know.
would-
I'm not gonna let. There's giant wolves. What else
The
is
sun is
out
also
here?
starting to set. Because that's why you were making camp.
Yeah.
It's like sunset right now.
I mean,
Squirrel.
I'm good.
It's delicious.
I'm good. I'm good.
Just
Oh,
eating
okay.
it.
But we can't we can't just send her on her way in the woods in the middle of the night.
And we could sleep here. I mean, I guess it depends on if we think we're going up this mountain tonight or if we're going to wait till morning.
And I kind of shy away from dude. And Jay's like,
Rowan Wags.
I mean, think of it this way: if we take her back to her family or to her mom, then we can stay in a place that's not on the ground. I mean, that's a way to spin it.
I mean, the contract Rowan's under. I mean, he's supposed to complete his mission, but is there anything that would keep him from hurting the little girl or her mother?
I mean, at the same time, if something out here got to him and stopped him from completing his mission, then
Ugh.
How far away did you try and go for this part of the conversation?
enough.
Enough that he can't hear you. Okay,
Enough.
so
Yeah,
he
yeah,
can like
yeah,
see you
yeah.
talking to each other, and he's just like, I don't know what you're saying, but I'm sure it's just very kind.
Shut up.
I hope Jade drugged that squirrel.
Wouldn't that be inhibiting his ability?
Yeah, she didn't sign a
probably. I
contract.
didn't sign a contract.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, the rest of us suckers
She
did.
probably wouldn't because she doesn't know if they're gonna leave pretty. Like, you don't want to give them something to him to sleep if we're gonna be leaving, departing in an hour or two. I mean, we could send her back with an escort, somebody who's fast.
Pine?
Probably.
I mean,
Where is Pine for this whole conversation?
Pine actually has not returned. I think he's gonna come back in like 30 minutes, and his hands are gonna be covered in like muck
Okay.
and dirt.
Okay.
that leaves. I'm not sure if that'll make things more or less complicated if he's not here.
I mean, he'd catch up.
It's
Okay.
true.
He's fast. I don't know, maybe that's the best plan? I hate to split the party, but
I mean, your intention had been to camp for the night, so
Yeah.
you weren't planning on making it to the mountain today. That was
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
tomorrow. So it would. No one necessarily knows. You have a map, so you could check it to see how close the nearest village is, or you could ask Red if she knows how close it
Did
is.
check a map and now I checked the map and we saved someone. I'm a hero.
Yeah.
That's how that
So
worked
you
out.
know that there is. But you could look and see how close it is, and that
Yeah.
maybe would tell you whether or not like Pine could just go and just get slightly less sleep than everyone else, or if
Yeah.
you all want to go as a group.
I think I want to inquire, like, figure out how far away this girl lives, and if we
Okay.
could just drop her off, because I hate to keep her overnight. Like, it's.
I don't know,
I mean,
maybe
her
as far as her
mom's-
mom's concerned, she's supposed to be staying at grandma's.
Yeah, we don't know
Maybe.
where grandma is.
I ask her. I'm like,
She
where?
comes back with Hanan.
I'll probably come back around the same time. That
wha-
seems.
Oh, that smells really good.
How far away is your mother's house?
Maybe an hour's walk. It's not very far.
Okay.
It's safe enough for my mom to send me on my own.
Here you go, sweetie.
Enough.
Have some
Oh.
squirrel.
How long is
She
this?
just like tears into it with
Yeah.
her hands.
It is delicious. Oh, it's so good.
So maybe if it takes her an hour to walk, maybe it's 3 miles, maybe it's.
It's probably not more than 3 miles.
Yeah. Well, ideas. We could take her back to her mother's tonight.
Why
or-
was expecting me to stay at grandma's tonight?
That is not an option
No.
anymore.
No, grandma turned into a wolf, so
Yeah.
someone else will take the house.
Great. So maybe in the morning then.
Yeah, it's
if,
probably
if
best.
you're not expected, if nobody's missing you.
Someone's definitely missing you, and people do care about you. You have a very strong community here of grown-ups who want the best for you.
Excellent work.
And that's, I mean, just when people say to a kid, like, you don't, anyone's missing you.
Sorry.
Am I
out of
being a good
practice.
dad?
You're a wonderful.
Okay,
father.
cool.
You do also have horses, so you could
The
probably
horses
ride
need
there.
rest.
And more squirrels.
Okay.
Says that.
How about this? We'll sleep. We'll camp here tonight. In the morning, I'll take her on a horse and try to drop her off to her mother's. It shouldn't take. I mean, it's like gonna be like a 20-minute ride each way, probably on horse.
While you do that, we'll break camp.
Horses?
Great.
I like sometimes horses.
And if there's a river, maybe we could get some fish since Oz doesn't like squirrel.
I mean, it's not I don't like it, I just don't want to try it.
You
Just-
should.
I'm just saying,
It's
we can get you some different food.
I saw some.
I'm
Roots.
tired.
Okay.
She just like immediately curls up on like the exact spot on the ground, and just like tucks some leaves under herself and pulls her cloak over, and it's like she's out in like 5 minutes.
This child is the daughter of the wolf. Like, we are very clear on this.
No,
Like,
that's-
from the
No,
forest
not at
for the
all.
forest.
That's,
No.
I don't think that's what happened.
I mean, her lineage suggests she will eventually grow fangs and eat us as well. I am not doubting her nature. Her nature is fine.
And now it's gonna pick her up, take her to the tent, tuck her in, and like put her.
It is just our nature to eventually slay and murder her as well.
The
All right. I'm tired. There's a lot to unpack there. Let's talk about it in the morning. Don't go stabby anybody during the night.
It's not our time.
Nope.
Fine, I do terribly appreciate you.
You as well, my friend.
Good night, y'all.
night.
And Jane's just done. She's like, I can't anymore.
And Non's gonna stay up until the sage goes to sleep.
Oh, like as soon as he's like watches this entire conversation, like you all clearly have a problem you all need to deal with, and I do not. And he eats his food and he like cleans up a little bit and like makes himself his little bed and he's like, I'll see you all in the morning. and then goes to sleep.
So the wolf didn't give birth to the kid?
No, I thought I checked.
Yeah, okay.
It was.
I
It
just,
was.
just want to make sure that we get that cleared. 'Cause I didn't want you to think that.
No,
Because she has clothes on too.
Yes, that was after. Excuse my lack of specific terms.
No, you're good. my friend. You're
I've
good,
seen
you're
the
good.
inside of animals before, and it was not the portion that I thought it was from.
Also,
So.
she states that she is 9 years, 3 months, and 2 days old, so.
She can count well,
No.
or she's lying.
Seems to be a very specific lie. Although those are the best kind and
You
the
would
worst
know.
if you. True. You're getting better at that, Pine.
Thank you. It is a joke.
Excellent.
I've learned from the. There is a box that sometimes turns on when you are in the gym, and it talks about these two women who are obviously friends, but all they do is drink from goblets and say oddly mean things to each other, specifically behind, without each other being there.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh. This sounds delightful. I wonder if
It
it's
actually is. Their words are their weapons, and they are rogues in the night. They stab each other and then plot to be the true best wife of Belair.
best wife of Belair?
Mm-hmm.
Earth customs are so unique.
I know.
I would think if you're going to go to the trouble of talking about someone behind their back, you would do something worthwhile, like ruin their reputation.
Or hire an assassin.
Oh.
It's comical.
From like across the fire, like Jane's eyes just like snap open and her head like is wheeling over and like just like listening to this.
Because Oz just like sitting in
Yeah,
between
he's
like
just-
ping
just
pong, like between the two of them.
I'm just happy you guys are cool. Awesome. Tell me more about this.
Well, it was very comical when one came in a large car but had the same dress as the other one in a smaller car. That was a full 20 minutes of content.
20 minutes?
And I feel like this conversation happens and the sun sets behind the trees and we see this sort of last glinting and eventually...
Could there be a montage of Pine doing storytelling around the fire?
Oh yeah, no, it's this, like Pine and Anon talking about Earth television shows while like Oz pretends he doesn't understand, maybe?
No, I'm like, I'm into it.
And we just get montages and like occasionally it cuts into dialogue and Pine says,
Well, along with that other show where there are two wives in Belair, there is one where they make grand feasts out of garbage. And they have to compete for the love of these three old wise men and one very sassy woman.
Oh. Goodness.
Yes.
and then eventually the sky is dark and all there is the flickering embers of the fire as Pine continues to tell stories. And Jade, like, your dreams get real weird
Yeah.
because it's like,
It's like I'm back in the strange
Yeah.
and inklings are devouring me.
Yeah.
But they look like housewives. So it's real, like there's just a lot of
Yeah, it-
mixing of
it
the
messes with
metaphors.
your head a lot.
Yeah, it does.
Red slumbers soundly
Whoa.
in her, in the tent. And eventually, you may all choose to go to sleep. The sky, the stars twinkle above you, beautifully illuminated. Like, you think at least every 10 minutes there's definitely a shooting star. It's very pretty.
It's a lot of wishes.
Yeah, well, you're in fairy tale recursion. Wishes are dangerous. Does anyone wish on a star?
Yeah, well, because she wakes up early and she does her meditation practice. So.
All right.
I think Anon does wish on a star.
Good.
I gotta figure out what that wish is, though.
That's all right. Write it down.
Okay.
If
Say it out
anyone,
loud.
Yeah.
if anyone wants to wish on a star,
I will.
I wanna wish
I don't
on a
know
star.
what I just yes-anded for myself.
I think Pine stays up particularly
Anyone
late.
else?
Like, will not go until everybody else starts to heads to their own. No, I
Okay.
don't think it's a custom Pine has.
That's
As much as I say I love saying yes to trouble, I don't think it translates.
Okay, cool. I got some wishes.
I think there might be one about getting the one piece of bone stock in the soup, but probably not one about student stars.
That's
Anything
a very, like that's a achievable. Yeah.
Like good fortune to those who
Anything
scoop the
specific about
bones.
them? Like,
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know how
Okay.
generic your wishes are. Like, I just wanna.
Does the pine have? Does the sage have a like bunk, or does he have like a tent, or does he have like
He
a
probably has a
blanket?
bedroll. Like,
Okay.
it's,
You decide what you wanna, if you wanna, yes, and.
I think Pine sets himself to be like in between the sage and the group.
I don't know if I'm gonna do anything with these, but I get to collect them, and that's gonna be great. Yeah. So Pine, yeah, because
Yeah.
he definitely. I don't think he has a tent. Like he wasn't
No.
prepared for that. Like he just kind of.
If he doesn't bring one, I think Pine goes without one.
Okay.
I think that's what happens.
Aww. These are great. I have character wishes now. This is amazing. Yeah. Okay. So you're like kind of it's like the sage. He's sort of off onto one edge, kind of keeping space between you and the group, and then there's you, and then the rest of them. Anon wakes early. The first sort of glinting of light, maybe at dawn. You look around. Everyone else is probably still asleep. Red continues to sleep soundly, and but there's no Dale.
I think Anon just simply like sits out there, and wait, there's still no Dale. So
Like how you're like, yeah. Wait a minute. Yeah, you look around and you see Oz. Are you like you were probably in the tent with Red? Oz, are you
Probably.
tent or bedroll or?
Bedroll next to a tree.
Okay. Jade sounded like you were on ground roughing it.
Mm-hmm.
Pine and the sage as well. And there's no other tent and there's no sleeping bag or bedroll that seems to include Dale.
Anon would look around the campsite to see there, like, is his little dog there, his riding dog, things like that. Like,
Yes.
his riding dog.
Is still hitched. Wherever Jade tied up all the horses the day before.
Then she would just be like looking in general, like, is there any sign that Dale left his bed roll?
Go
or
ahead
laid
and
out?
give me a perception. This is intellect. You want to put any?
Yeah, I'll throw a level of effort in there.
Okay.
Yeah, just one. 14.
14. So you kind of search around, and the first thing you notice, there's no sign or evidence that there was ever, like, there's no, like, depression in the grass, or any sign that, like, there was an extra bed that has since been cleared up. So if Dale was ever asleep here, it was clearly either long enough ago that, like, the grass would have sprung up, or he just never rested here. You kind of look around, maybe you're looking for, like, specifically small footprints, and you go a little bit further into the woods. Like, you don't go super far in because you're kind of on the edge of it. Maybe you track in a little bit. And eventually, you sort of catch a trail that you think is probably Dale's of some kind. And it looks like he sort of came back from dealing with the wood and then kind of you think you vaguely remember seeing him briefly as he, like, came back to the campsite with the rest of you and then kind of wandered off somewhere. And so you sort of follow where you think he wandered off to. And how far away are you going to go?
I think she would go a reasonable distance, but not so far as her voice. Like, she wants to make sure she's still within shouting distance of the
Okay.
camp.
So if you keep going, eventually you will kind of start realizing, like, you're walking perpendicular to the woods, or not perpendicular. You're, like, kind of skirting the edge of the woods. Like, you see, like, the tracks essentially kind of dart in and dart out a little bit. Like, you get the impression Dale was probably hunting for things, and then they stop. And this is, I mean, actually, they probably, you would have to go pretty far away because you didn't notice anything yesterday.
I wouldn't go any further than
Okay.
I wouldn't go outside of shouting distance. So it would just continue, obviously,
Mhm.
continue on. I think she would return back to camp. Like, this isn't in my mind, Dale does this, like, pretty regularly. He goes and searches for ciphers and things like that, and he eventually always comes back. So she didn't see any sign of foul play.
Not yet, no. You just saw the
Okay.
trail kind of keep going, and then you were like, I'm getting a little bit too far away from the camp, so you stopped.
So then she would come back and she would meditate because hopefully, like, well, no, wait, there wasn't even a depression of him, like, sleeping that night. That's not normal. That doesn't seem normal. I think she would, like, wake Jade.
Yep.
Shh. Dale
Yep.
didn't sleep here last night.
Huh?
Dale didn't sleep here last night.
Dale didn't sleep.
Well, not here. His trail leads that way, and along the edge of the woods.
Is his dog still here? The
Yeah.
riding dog? Okay.
Yeah. Shame that's so gross.
I wonder if he wandered off or. There's so much. Okay.
So
Well,
someone should go searching for him. I'm wondering if we should wake Pine.
out of all of us, Pine's probably got the best tracking skills.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Someone can take Red back to camp once she wakes, but in the meantime, if we can at least find Dale.
Let's wake up
probably the best.
everybody. Well, we can let Rowan sleep, but let's at least wake up Pine. And do you want to take Red back to her mom?
Sure, I can.
Okay. I'll head up the Dale search.
It didn't seem like there was any foul play, but
Yeah, but who knows what he wandered into?
yep.
Gotta put a bell on that guy.
Or a tracker of some kind. Any kind. Although, never mind that I said that. Let's just move on.
All right. Jade wakes up Pine.
I think it's just one of those, like, he was asleep and now he's awake. And he does like a couple looks and is like, and then sits up.
So it looks like Dale didn't sleep in camp last night.
But Dale loves sleep.
I know. Anon says that apparently she saw him wander off, and apparently he never came back.
You remember, like, you and Dale probably talked a little bit, and he, like, coached you through, like, removing parts of the wolf
Yes.
and, like, shoving them in danglies, and then, like, you kind of got back to camp maybe around the same time, and he mentioned something about, like, going looking. Like, he's like, I'll be back. And you just sort of, like, move to the side.
That was really
Doing a lot of, like, hiding behind a tree.
I mean,
Super sad.
I figure you have probably the best
yeah.
hunting and woods skills of any of us, so.
I have approximate knowledge of all forests. I think mine just
I
brags in the
Jade
morning.
believes that.
It's a morning brag. You know.
It is unfortunate because I think Dale deals much better with the concrete jungle, if you get what I
Yes.
mean.
I agree.
Like Pine like gets up and like starts like I think he like took off some of his armor and he starts to put it on real quickly.
I'll wake up Oz as well.
Yes.
Oh,
Did you?
yeah, I figured
Okay.
while you were waking,
Yeah, yeah.
she was like,
Great.
hey.
Oz, do you mind counseling the sage while I go find Dale?
Oh, do we need to wake the sage? I think that he can just sleep.
I'll keep an eye out for the sage.
Thank you.
Somebody needs to stay here in case Dale comes back. Also, we could break camp. Hopefully we'll find him quick. Maybe he just fell in a deep hole he couldn't climb out of.
Yes, he is quite short,
Or
but not an ninja.
maybe he was distracted by a reflection.
I would.
If-
Maybe.
If the reflection held the secrets to the universe, by all means, correct.
I guess that's more of a Greek myth than a fairy tale, so it probably doesn't apply here. But I'm just saying there's all kinds of things could have happened to Dale that would delay him.
He could get caught in his own shoe.
Yeah.
Accurate. I'm going to go wake up Red.
Okay, so it sounds like you're gonna take Red home.
Yeah.
You're gonna ride out there. You're watching the sage. and the two of you are questing for Dale.
Yep.
That's the sort of plan for this morning. You each rouse and get yourself ready, and it's pretty early because you were up at dawn. The sage seems quite content to continue sleeping because it's dawn, and this is not the time that humans are awake. And so, how you doing there, buddy?
Doing great.
Are ya?
Yeah, I'm just putting this back up
Okay,
right now.
cool.
I got chilly.
Did it? Okay, so let's resolve red first, and unless there's anything in particular you plan to do to or with the sage at the camp,
Just keep him awake.
you're gonna wake him up.
I mean, I'm just gonna be not quiet.
What do you do to be not quiet?
Yeah, just break down camp a bit, sing some songs. Has the sage heard Despacito yet?
I don't know. Has he?
He is now. Non-stop.
You eventually just sort of like you can tell he's awake, but he's choosing to not say anything to you.
I'd hope so.
Yep. that's where it's at. It's the adult that's awake while the kids are making a lot of noise, and you're like, maybe if I ignore them long enough.
I think the
they'll
best part is
stop.
Oz doesn't really know Despacito as well. So that's what's being saying over and over.
It's just like those two words that everybody knows.
Despacito.
I start singing Gasolina at one point. It just goes off on a tangent. Comes back to it.
The best version of the song that never ends.
It's just him lying there
For all of their mission. That's just going.
for however long this takes.
Our fairy contract doesn't say anything about driving him mad.
No, not at all. So, Adnan, you wake up Red, and she's like, oh, I have some.
Come on, sweetheart. You can sleep on the horse if you want, but we gotta get
Okay.
going.
And then she just kind of like gets on the horse and wraps her arms around you and like puts her head on your back. It's like, go.
Don't fall off. She's gonna like hold the arms just to make sure that like doesn't lose a kid off the side of the horse, and then
Cool. I think eventually, as the ride goes on, she wakes up a little more and she starts directing you. And she's like, "Okay, so it's down this road and then that way."
Okay.
And she's like pointing behind you.
oh that way.
Yeah, that one.
Like turn around. I imagine we go like
No, not that way. That way.
oh that was the way you point. Okay.
And like, this poor horse goes around in circles a few times. Eventually, as you go down this road, you realize like this is a path, and it splits off from where you were coming from. So the path you took led up to the woods. You kind of guessed like maybe that's the path she took, or maybe she kind of wandered off into the woods from somewhere else. And it forks, so it merges with a separate path, separate from where you had come from, and you head off in that direction, and that's kind of where you get that way, this way. And eventually you crest over a little hill, and you see in front of you a small village. Like, you go through some farmland. It's, a couple miles from where you were. And you see a small village. There's some sort of water. There's a mill with a water wheel connected to the river, and lots of cottages and little houses. And it looks like there's one road that goes through this village, and a number of different sort of smaller dwellings that are off of it. And she eventually directs you, and she's like, "That house, that one!" And sort of points at one very emphatically. And you ride up and hitch the horse on the fence, and she gets off the horse, and she runs up to the door, and she knocks on it.
None will dismount.
And there's like a
follow.
moment, and like, who's there? And she knocks on again, and it's me, I'm home! Oh, and you hear like a scurrying, and someone opens the door, and a woman who looks similar, like that you can clearly tell they're related, but kind of an older version almost of this small 9-year-old, 9 years, 3 months, and 2 days.
3 days.
3 days now.
Oh yeah. Next morning.
And the mother sort of looks very surprised and embraces her daughter, and she kind of looks up and eventually sees you, and she's like, "Oh, goodness, thank you for bringing Red back."
Of course. I have a question for you.
Yes.
Do grandmothers turn into wolves?
And then she kind of takes Red and looks at her. "Did Grandma eat you?" And Red like nods. She's like, I'm so sorry. I didn't think it was that time yet." She sort of hugs her, and she kind of looks at you and nods. Says, "Yes."
I'm terribly sorry to inform you then that in an attempt to save your daughter, your mother was killed.
Oh, good. I hated her.
Well, in that case,
Mother-in-law.
I'm happy to bring you good tidings. Ah, mother-in-law.
Just sort of like hugs her daughter closer. She's like, I'm so sorry. And like kind of like scoops her and she kind of gets red to go inside and she's like, thank you so much. Is there anything I can do to help or repay you?
Oh, no, not
Anything
at
you
all.
need? I don't have a lot, but we can certainly provide food, water. Do you need any? Where are you here? Where are you?
Oh, we're headed up to, we're headed up to the Tall Dark, and,
Oh goodness! Why? Heavens, why?
oh, well, we're on a bit of a quest, you see.
You know there's a dragon up there.
Oh, yes, we're going to visit.
The dragon eats people.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised. Have you heard anything about how to get it to stop that?
No.
All right, well, I thought I'd ask.
If you can solve that problem, you would be the hero of our kingdom.
Well, that's what we're hoping to do.
Oh.
Um,
Heroes! And then she like goes in the house for a moment and comes back with this like basket full of things, and she's like, "Well, if you're heroes," and she just hands it to you.
You get to pick up the goodie basket.
Thank you.
You look at it, and it's mostly full of like bread and food and meats, and like it's clearly like the hero basket. Like you will need this for your journey, and like a hand-knitted blanket. And
Does she
Oh,
just
woman.
have this like set aside at all times and
Of
replenished?
course.
Thank you.
Everyone has to have the hero basket.
Oh, of course.
Heroing is a lot of work.
She was telling me that there's a whole bunch of spiders in the woods. I was
Oh
wondering.
yes, probably. Oh, and if you find candy, don't eat it.
Don't eat the candy.
No.
Oh, good to know. Why?
What's what happened to Diddle?
The witch.
The witch?
Oh, good.
I'm sorry, you said that like I should know what that is.
Well, one of the witches in Astoria lives in the woods there. They're very large woods, so you might not encounter it. It's off to the side of where Grandma's house is, and well, it's not my grandma's house anymore. Good.
So glad I could bring you that good news.
It was an unpleasant experience when it happened to me.
Ah.
But there's a witch that eats children and
Oh.
lures them in with candy.
Oh, I see. I see. Is there anything else as we're that you're
Well, there's-
aware of on the tall?
On the mountain? Oh, there's definitely the dragon. Mostly the
Yes.
dragon on the mountain that we know about. No one goes up there unless you're a hero, of course. But otherwise, in the woods, there's also the bog witch and the fairy circles and the barrows and the giant spiders and the slightly smaller spiders and the wood elves and the night court and the there's just a lot of things.
Goodness, is
And
there
then there's
any
the
other?
plains. There's also the bridge with the troll, and the billy goats on a different bridge, and
What is the?
the giants. You might encounter those. Don't climb beanstalks. You're not from around here, are you?
No, my parents kept me very, very cloistered as a child. I didn't get out very much, so I've come to learn a lot as an adult. You mentioned all of these things, and I'm wondering, what is the way to the mountain that runs into the least number of these?
Well, and she sort of thinks for a minute, and she like, excuse me, she like reaches into your hero basket and like pulls out a map that's like on this sort of like piece of fabric, and it's not a great map, and she's like,
Did Red make it?
yes.
Is it a school project? Like everyone?
Yeah,
puts a
yeah,
hero,
everyone
make a
has to
map
make a map for the
hero.
hero basket. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
They
Yes,
have to
it
make their
is.
first hero
It's
bread.
like, yeah, I mean, it's like school projects. They get ready for the heroes. And so she goes, well, if you skirt around the woods, it will take a little bit longer. The path through the woods is faster, but more dangerous. Obviously, it's the woods. If you go across this bridge here, that troll, I think, is normally asleep. And avoid the beanstalk fields over here, and she sort of like directs, and then this way, and that should take you to the base of the Tall Dark. If the dragon doesn't pick you up before then.
Oh, perfect. Well, if he does, that would just make it all the much faster, wouldn't it, then? Oh, wouldn't be the first time I've flown on a dragon.
Oh,
Thank you so much for your help.
Thank you for bringing Red back.
Yes, I'm so glad that she made it back. This question may seem odd. You said that they were your mother-in-laws. She said that she had 2 grandmothers, so I presumed mother-in-laws. But anyway, the question I have to ask you is, are you a stepmother?
No.
Oh, excellent. Thank you. I just had to know.
Why?
Well, there's something about when you are in a place and you hate your in-laws that much that makes me wonder if it's the second chance at having in-laws or the first.
No, the first.
I see.
There are a lot of stepmothers in the kingdom, though.
Oh, yes. I'm sure there are.
They do have a bad reputation. It seems very unfair.
Does seem to paint a broad swatch across a bunch of people, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You know, not all witches are bad either.
No, but the one in the woods with the candy will eat children.
Okay. I'll bear that in mind.
There are good witches, yes. Certainly, but that one will eat children.
Oh. Thank you so much again.
There's a lot of things really around here that eat children. Red! Goes inside and closes the door.
And the house grows feet and runs away.
It's a different house.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The other grandma's house.
Oh, no.
To grandmother's house. Anyway.
So you come back. The two of you begin questing. I think Anon probably sets you on like a trajectory. This is where you see the footprint. So you follow what Anon's on. You see you're getting pretty far away from the camp. Like Dale popped in and out of the woods several times as well, and just was kind of doing a sort of meandering, sort of looking for things. And you see spots where something was been cut off a tree or something was uprooted, and you kind of watch and follow the evidence of Dale collecting the things. And as you keep going, both of you feel free to roll me some sort of perception, survival, tracking kind of dealio.
I would like to put 2 points of effort.
2, okay.
And I got a 7.
That is, with 2 levels of effort, definitely enough. What
12.
did you? 12. Okay, so the two of you both notice. Eventually, Dale's path, you see it go into the woods, and it doesn't seem to come back out. And you sort of follow into this woods, and this section of the woods is it feels a little bit more magical almost. Like it is, the trees are slightly silvered almost, as if they're there's an aura of sort of almost like everything's been painted with glitter. It's probably actually the best way to describe it. And as the sunlight sort of catches on it, it kind of feels twinkly. You think you hear little sounds of little bells or something in the background at some point, or maybe little laughing noises. You're not really sure.
Are we in a dreamscape or a trap?
I think they can be the same thing.
And as you keep walking and walking a little bit further, I think you actually sort of suddenly, you stop for a minute because you see Dale's path end, and you actually notice this, which is there is a circle in the ground. A very large, bright red and white spotted toadstools in a perfect circle.
I could be wrong, but I think this is a fairy circle.
You sort of stop.
Ooh, like the magical creature fairy with the contract. But a circle. So what is the purpose of an object or a shape to a fairy?
I guess it could be a trap. It could also be a window to the fae. I mean, it depends on what exactly this recursion is.
So if we go in that, we can get to Dale.
Well,
You hear giggles.
Obviously they agree.
I have the ability to resist mental effects.
Okay.
And I know when I'm trying, someone's trying to trick me. So
Yeah.
does my spider sense go off at this at all?
A little bit. Like, there's definitely warning bells, and some of it is you also know, like, lore. You're like, fairy circles are normally, like, the place where you get sucked away somewhere, and often trapped, and, like, it's probably... Stepping in it without knowing why or where or what is maybe a bad idea.
Right. And like Jade's like thinking and thinking and thinking. She's like, how does that go? How does that go?
Why don't you step in and find out?
She stands at the edge of the circle and she says, how does this go? I'm gonna mess this up. Goblin King, I have ventured all night to find my baby brother.
And then the laughing just gets louder, and like it's still that very high pitched, almost like listening to like a series of ringing little like chimes. But it clearly is raucous. Like there are things around you, and they are actively laughing at you as you begin saying this at the edge of the fairy circles.
Well, at least I'm entertaining. Jade, kind of roots around in her bag. So is most of the sound coming from inside the...
No, it's coming from around you.
Okay.
It's like you're surrounded by wind chimes.
Okay.
And are laughing at you.
Yeah, I'm wondering, would Jade have any iron on her? Like anything...
Oh, I mean, the glaive is probably steel for sure, like the blade, but it's not.
It's not like it's whatever.
Cold iron. I don't actually.
It would be whatever is norm in this world. So what is a normal glaive made of? It's
Steel.
Yeah, then it would.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe, like root around on you. What would you have? What do you think? Like, you know, your horse shoes would probably work, but you'd be
Right.
Like,
I'm guessing I'm thinking I have fishing weights and like old school, like waders.
Yeah.
And things like that. That would be probably my adventuring kit.
Sure.
Or
Yeah.
ranger
You
kit.
like kind of reach in and you pull out of your bag.
It's
like,
probably in the hero basket.
Oh yeah, no, the hero
There's
basket
iron nails. Yeah.
has like a nail, just one. You might need this. It's a
Um,
hero basket.
Yeah, I would say we think like a nail or a fishing weight.
Yeah.
I just wanna. I'm gonna. I'm
And
looking.
it goes very quiet as soon as you pull that out.
Fairies don't like iron.
Ah.
Or lemons.
Oh. I also don't like lemons.
Well,
I understand.
you're not.
No, I mean. No.
I mean. Okay.
I am tall and long.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Are you gonna do something, or are you just gonna stand there?
We're seeking our friend Dale, who we think came upon your fairy circle. We would like him back.
Oh, the halfling.
Mm-hmm.
The half-halfling. He was quite small, even for a halfling.
Yep.
That is my friend.
And you look around and you hear, and you realize, I think, as you're saying that, like each of you kind of turn and look, and there's like a little tiny fairies. And you're smaller, actually, about the same size as the one that was in the king in the king and queen's court. These ones are maybe a little bit smaller, and like that one had been dressed in like regalia, like heraldry and sort of the attire of the king and queen. But here, these ones are like dressed in little leaves and like a little, like a blue bonnet like on their head, just like a little flower as a hat, and they're sort of like sitting on your shoulder. What? and you realize they're like sort of right there, just kind of standing, like talking directly into your ear.
What may we call you?
The one with the blue bonnet is like, I'm Blue Bonnet.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The other one is like, I'm Foxglove.
Yeah, Foxhole's got an edge.
Do they look like they came from a Hot Topic and they've got little wristbands?
No, it's just like the whole Foxglove is the dress.
They're just
Big
one
buzz
donkey
buzz.
short of a midsummer
Yeah.
night's dream.
I don't know why
top to
Foxglove
bottom.
said it that way, but that's how they said it, so.
I'm Foxglove.
Has a tattoo that says no fear.
He got a little pine needle as a little sword. Fox Glove with an extra X.
Two X's.
Do you know what happened to our friend Dale?
Well, he walked into our little circle.
May we have him back,
No,
please?
no. He's having fun.
Well, that's incorrect. Dale does not have fun.
Well, he's at the fairy court.
Oh, God.
I think he's asleep now.
Well, that's
He doesn't
good.
leave.
He takes a nap. Naps are important for Dale.
Will you allow us safe passage to go and fetch him and bring him out?
Why do you want him back?
He is important to me. He is my friend. He has many stories to tell to me.
It's true. Also, he's been very ill and had both knees replaced with iron kneecaps. So I worry that his prolonged being in your kingdom will,
The little tiny fairy like flies up and stares you in the face.
Is it Foxglove? Because if it is,
Oh, it's Foxglove.
you're in trouble.
and they have their arms folded and they're looking at you like. I need you to roll a lie to them.
Oh, how hard is it to lie to fairies? I feel like very easy because they're all about.
I'm
truth.
gonna
I don't even
I'm
know
gonna
what lies are.
throw a little
A level of effort.
yeah, a little bit of
different
effort in there.
lies than I.
Yeah. 16.
Well, that sounds real dangerous. We'll be right back.
And they're gone. They suddenly disappear, and it's quiet for a minute. And you kind of have a minute to sort of stand there, in next to this ring of beautiful toadstools.
You are very good.
Thank you.
I'm glad you're back.
How are you doing?
Oh, with the team now that you're here, because it is very good to have you back. It was like, now we have 2 gauntlets instead of 1.
It is like that.
It's nice. But you did not mean that.
I mean, with all the stuff with the sage and being reunited with him.
It is like donning a piece of armor you forgot. It is like it is a weight that is familiar, and to the weight, it is duty, it is my job, it is honor, and I will step back into it when this is all complete.
Does that croissant still taste good to you?
If you eat the same meal every morning, you become accustomed to it.
I think there's a pause, and both of you sort of suddenly look over, and Dale, very small Dale, is just curled up inside this ring of toadstools, clearly asleep. And you see little Foxglove. They're like right on top of him, like,
He's yours. He was asleep. He snores. But I think he's gonna be asleep for a while.
Thank you for returning him.
Have fun.
bye! And then the other one, like, and you just hear.
Thank you.
I wanna get, I don't wanna like cross.
Yes. May we reach into this and grab our friend?
Just take him.
Okay, that was easy.
We're like using
Don't
your glaive
step
to
in
do
it.
I think we are very skilled. We could probably both reach
Oh, wait.
together.
Yeah.
With my ranged reach beyond, I can close. So technically, I have such good reach now
You are so
that I
good
can
at
like
reaching.
yoink.
Yeah,
him.
you just pick
but
Dale
not with that
up
hand because
by
it
the
doesn't
scruff.
exist. This one.
You have
And
good
they're just- he's just
abs muscles
Right.
that you could just
I-
literally bend
I
90
think of it.
degrees.
I
and
change my center of gravity.
Oh,
really
yeah.
well.
Yeah.
do I put my foot right on the back of your boot so it just stays there?
Yep.
Lean.
And then I try to figure out if there's anything in my bag I can leave the fairies because I know they like gifts. And I'm like, not
Pretty much
iron.
any food that you
I mean,
have.
lemon.
The only
I'll leave
thing.
him like a biscuit
Spencer
Yeah.
gift cards.
or like a scone or what's
Yeah.
that?
Spencer gift cards.
Right.
That was a better
Day
one.
works.
That's a better gift that I was going to leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you see Dale, he has
many more Phil's danglies, but you can tell, like, he's out. He is magically asleep.
Well, at least we got him back.
Yes, he will awaken. I assume the estate has some, of the smelliest salts.
Yeah. Yes. Well, I'll throw him on. Well, I guess we're just gonna.
He's
have to
quite
carry
small.
him.
You could just put him in a bag.
I'll carry
He's
it.
like 2 feet right now. Like, he's a
So,
large toddler.
Are you going to be ready to say goodbye to the sage at the end of this? When the mission is done and the time has come to part ways?
I apologize. I thought it was clear I would be continuing with the sage when the time has come.
Oh.
My entire quest with the estate was to continue to entrust and support them as they help me find the sage. So to save Sansut, I will follow the sage through the multiple different realities to find a solution for my home.
Well, that sounds like your decision to make, and you know, we like you on the team, so if you want to stay or change your mind, you're always welcome.
I do appreciate the offer. I would not feel bad if you got a new gauntlet, but I will, if you need any respite in Sansut, you are always welcome in the castle.
Well, thank you. I'm trying to stay out of castles these days.
I don't know. I think
You're like piggybacking Dale as you walk.
Trelog is quite lovely, though. It is a castle with moss. It is very damp, but very nice in an odd way. Opposite of the feeling you had in that grove. Like you feel one with the earth instead of the earth kind of consuming and taking.
Interesting. I'd like to see it someday.
I would like that.
You make it back to the camp, and I think at that point, like eventually, the sage sits up. Good morning.
Despacito.
I think we should get on the road soon. When they all get back, and that's where we'll take our break. As you are just singing and dancing through the camp. Okay.
We
I'm
did
glad
it.
Bonsai knows what happened to Dale now.
All the
Dale
side
has been unconscious and will remain unconscious magically for a while. Because he hung out with the fairies.
We did complete all side quests, though.
You did?
Yes.
Rescued Dale.
Yep.
Rescued Red?
Rescued Red.
I did not see any armor dropped, though.
No, we have to do that raid 3
but
more
we did
times.
get the
You
hero.
got the hero
We
basket.
got the
That was
hero
your
basket.
Oh.
Okay. I have some lovely donations to read
just be
out.
Oh, Tonberry.
The first one is from Clamps,
Clamps.
with 2857. Clamps are always useful. You can always use. This is just so we're clear. This is specific. Someone from my community is very insistent on me having a lot of clamps. Like,
Clamps are very useful.
yeah. Okay. Clamps are always useful. You can always use more clamps. Do you have a crafting project? Clamps. Feeling emotions? Clamps. Breaking someone's heart? Clamps. Facing down a malevolent psychic? Clamps. Never go anywhere without your trusty clamps.
Ha
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yep. William TW with $15. Hi, it's funny to see you from home again after being with you last time. Great memories.
Oh.
Good to see you. It's good to have you here. Insurance
Lovely.
rat with $5.
Oh.
Hey, does you need to get out of the grime and sewer of your uninsured ratness? Well, then I got a deal for you. For the low price of just everything you own, I can get you set up with them sweet cheek pouches and that fluffy tail. That's right, squirrel. Rat insurance.
Rat insurance.
What's it gonna take
I like
to
the
get
idea
you
that
into
we
this
like
fuzzy tail?
like the idea that we like caught a rat dressed as a squirrel and roasted it, and then like went to like roast it. We're like, wait a
What?
minute.
That's just a rat.
Oh, damn it! I thought I upgraded.
Queebian with $100 and no message.
Ooh.
Wow.
Does anyone have? Oh wait, what's the song again?
This is no.
No, that's not the message.
That's not the message. Who's the message?
The message is, feeling desperate, don't have enough music in your life. Well, don't worry. There's a campsite waiting just for you right around the edge of the forest where you can hear your own version of Despacito over and over and over again.
It's beautiful. It's
Wait,
beautiful.
any version?
Well, everyone has their own version.
When you walk in, you just
Narrator in with $5.
Into the woods, my pretties, to collect all the fairy tales.
Ooh.
There's so many. There's the Giant's Grove. Just avoid the Beanstalk Grove and
Gosh.
the Troll on the Bridge and the yada and the yada and the yada and the yada. Thank you so much, everybody. We will be right back. We're going to go take a quick break, take care of our bodies and our physical selves. You do the same thing, and then we shall return for the second half of this episode. Side quests are done. So now we're on to the Tall, Dark, and Handsome Mountain.
And no feelings.
And no feelings.
No feelings.
To deal with a dragon.
And no murder yet.
Hello, and welcome back. I hope you had a wonderful and refreshing break. I was not at all preparing anyone for anything that may emotionally be happening in the second half. It's fine. Thank you so much, Shadowcasters Network, for your lovely raid while we were on our break. We're going to jump pretty much right back into the action that's happening. They've completed their side quest in this fairy tale recursion.
3 of them?
Yeah, there were 3 side quests.
The major fairy tale number. 3 quests.
Yep. So yeah, if you're new here, welcome, hello. We are Geek Space TV. We are a nonprofit broadcasting studio based in Seattle. And if you'd like to support us, there are so many ways you can do it. Being here, hanging out, hosting the stream, sharing it on social media. If you can tip or donate financially, that's awesome. We'll read out those messages at the end of the show. You can also check out our Patreon as well for a regular monthly donation. And we are currently playing using Cypher System, which is a core system from Monty Cook Games, and their strange setting. So our characters essentially travel in between different realities and dimensions, and trouble happens. That's it. And this time they're in the fairy tale recursion. So really fast, go ahead and say who you are, who your character is, and pronouns, and then we'll jump right back into our action. Let's go in the opposite direction. Who do we have over here?
Hey everybody, I'm Janine, also known as Admiral Asma, and I'm playing Jade Atwood. Who are you laughing about? Would you laugh at me?
We
No,
both
it wasn't me.
looked at the
Sarah,
camera
and then we
we're
both
like,
looked at each other.
Let's not.
But I was looking over there because I was
Who
gonna
are you?
sneeze.
Hi, I'm Jackie Dash. I'm Jackie Dash. I play Pine Knight. My own pronouns are she, her. Pine Knight is a he, him. He's a graceful vector who slays dragons.
Hey, it's me. What is Kiss? AKA Nathan Kiss. I'm playing the Oswald Dukes, AKA Firebringer. My pronouns, as well as my character's pronouns, are he, him.
Hello, I'm Shell Game. My pronouns are she, her, and my character's pronouns are also she, her. She is Anon Nisi, and she hates the sage.
That's pretty much all you need to know about her right now.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I am Random Tuesday. I am your GM. My pronouns are she, her. A couple of other quick reminders. Monty Cook Games has a Kickstarter going on right now for Numenera-based content for 5th edition D&D 5e. Go check that out. There should be a link in chat. And also, this Saturday is going to be the final episode of this season of Night Witches, which will be at 3 p.m. on Saturday.
Go check it.
Go check those out as well. And now, so the first half, yeah, they're in a fairy tale based recursion, so everything's kind of magic-y, fairy tale-y, and not what you think it's going to be. They fought a giant wolf that was definitely someone's grandma, or pretty likely was someone's grandma, because as part of the natural life cycle of the grandma is you turn into a wolf, and then you eat your granddaughter, and then some people cut you open, and your granddaughter falls out. And so they rescued Little Red Riding Hood. They took her back home. They discovered Dale, who wandered off on his own, stepped into a fairy ring, and is now tripping something, and definitely asleep. And lastly but not leastly, Oz spent a lot of time singing at the camp. And that is where we find our group.
I like that was my quest.
I literally have a question, which is, do grandmas become wolves? Was the thing that I was like asking myself at one point, and I'm like, yeah, natural life cycle is child to mother to grandmother to wolf.
So it's like mother, maiden mother, crone, wolf.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Is the question, is it like the praying mantis where like they eat their partner? Or is it like when their partner fades? Or like, is it just part of their menopause cycle?
Yeah,
I
it's
think
like
it's like-
super menopause.
Just like
It's
grandmother's
meant, ooh, pause.
little paws.
Moonopause.
Moonopause. Yes.
That's the bovine version.
Yes.
That's in the
No,
other
'cause
side
it's
of
the
the
moon.
Oh, never mind. GK.
I do like the bovine.
It's very important.
And we are, you know what? We did so well.
We
with,
did?
with our introductions.
Oh, I
and
forgot to
then we
introduce
lost the rails.
Cetus.
It's fine. He's great.
There's Cetus.
He's a dog. Boop. The moonopause. Okay. So anyway, sorry. That was the thing. We were good. We're over it. It happened. Yes. They are in the fairy tale recursion. You all return. You make it back to the campsite. Dale is asleep, slung over Pine's shoulder. Anon, you are riding back on your horse with a hero basket that was given to you, including a map hand-drawn by the young Little Red Riding Hood as part of her as the Hero Day celebration at school.
And you have some vague directions or some basic directions that will get you through the least dangerous route to the Tall Dark Mountain,
I
where the
think
dragon lives. Fieldress.
Oh, I forgot to write that.
Villagers Elba.
We found Dale. You can't wander into circles here, I suppose. He's asleep for a long time. But not dead.
He got caught by some fairies.
Fairies?
Long. I'll explain on the ride.
Everything go well with the kid?
Yes, we got a hero basket. Apparently that's a thing they do in this recursion. With a map.
I haven't had a hero basket in like 25 years.
Oh, wow. And they can like send a letter or
How old's
just
your son?
get in touch with the grandmother and just let her know that
Oh,
you're safe.
as it happens, this particular grandmother was not liked by the family, so, or at least by the mother, anyway.
Well, she should still know that Red's okay. She was supposed to go there to her house then.
Oh, no, I think that we actually did kill the grandmother.
It was her time. She did try to eat her own young.
But
No, they
Pine.
do turn into wolves.
Wow.
oh, I'm the dumb one.
No.
Oh shoot.
Admiral, you are not dumb.
Okay. No, it's cool. Wow.
Did you just get a promotion again? I think you did.
No.
I've been admiral for some time now.
Okay. I get confused
What?
with the ranks.
It's
Just wait. Eventually it'll be
Oh.
general or lord or something,
Are-
I'm sure.
Are you?
Wait,
You're,
isn't
you're
admiral
taking
above
titles?
I'm not taking them. I'm just being
He has
bequeathed
earned them. One day he will be admiral.
Were you promoted by the estate?
Just Pine.
You have to. Okay. He's not authorized to give you a title change.
Pine was right about the grandmothers being wolves. I'm not going to start another argument here.
I mean, but I was also incorrect about the fact that she was not pregnant with a 9-year-old child.
I know, she said it was her grandmother, so
Yeah, it was
unless there's
very
like
odd.
another wolf.
Oh!
So, are we leaving? Sage is like on his horse.
And Non's gonna go.
Also, you shouldn't be going by the sage because that's not a title that you have adequately been authorized to take.
Ooh.
I'm just saying.
Okay, you can call me Rowan Wise if you would like. Rowan's fine.
Okay. Thanks.
I never told you I was the sage. Pine did.
That is your name.
I'm
Is your
going to
title.
call you liar. Seems fitting.
Like the
I'm gonna go saddle up my
instrument
horse.
Or
Oh dear. She doesn't say anything more. She just like turns back and like ignores him.
so we're still gonna follow Oz's directions?
Oh, the map in the hero basket. So as it happens, there's a significant number of dangerous things in these woods, including but not limited to witches that put candy out. Don't eat the candy. Apparently, the witches then kill children or something. There's a beanstalk grove that we should also not climb the beanstalks. There is a troll on a bridge. There's also some gnomes, I believe, on a bridge. There is big spiders and small spiders, and night courts. I don't know what those are, and I believe that's everything. Although she just kept sort of trailing off as if there was a plethora of other things. Anyway, the point is, we can go through the woods. It is faster, but we're going to run into more danger if we
Okay.
go around this way, right along to the left and up through the hills. Then we should be able to get to the Tall Dark today,
Oh,
with less danger, perhaps.
great. Oz, do you want something from the hero basket?
Yeah, I am starving. And just grab some cheeses and breads from the hero basket.
A
And
lot of salted meats.
oh
Definitely
Well,
yeah,
grab
it's
some
Tillamook.
salted mix.
Yeah.
get some cured meat. Yep, all cured.
Shall we depart?
Yes.
You may make recovery rolls if anyone wants to, and you could have made all of your recovery rolls that you had left yesterday because you had a whole night.
Okay, I used some of mine in the fairy court, so I can't. Like,
Oh, in the morning?
Yeah.
Okay. You could have used it the night before.
I know, I did.
Okay.
We slept for more, I'm assuming more than 10 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
That should be good. Unless.
Anon will take the back so that she can keep an eye on the sage.
Okay. So you mount up onto your horses and you take the longer path.
Yeah, I believe that we were going to take the longer path. That sounded like our general.
The one we were
So-
directed to take.
Yeah. So you skirt around the woods, and you head back kind of on a longer, more winding road, and you find yourself riding through the countryside. It's quite quaint. The sun rises, the day progresses. Maybe at some point you stop for food and lunch. You cross over a bridge over a river, and like if anyone peeks underneath, there's definitely a troll sleeping under the bridge.
Should we kill him now?
No, later.
How do we know that we want to kill him? He
mean,
could be
this is-
friendly.
Trolls would probably live here, but probably not. I could be wrong again, but this goat's probably gonna. This troll's gonna harass some goats. The last goat's gonna kill the troll.
How?
Huh?
How large are goats in this place?
I don't know. They could be billy goats, and they could be gruff.
I would like to meet this goat.
It's the last one. That's the.
I bet he's taller than a horse. Saddled and worn. How many battles has he won?
I mean, there's also the goat that finished off the clay boy.
Just realizing
I
that
finished
animals
crossing the bridge.
I would normally eat. Maybe I shouldn't hunt while I'm here in case any of them are talking and I don't know it.
Ah.
Hence the squirrel. I felt bad, but I didn't want to say anything at the time because I wasn't sure if that was like
Oh, no.
like someone was like singing a song and it was like, hey, it's morning time. I'm gonna sing my song and my woodland creature friend's gonna come like
And
pour
you
the
didn't want
water.
to say anything because I had already killed it.
But it was probably just an indentured servant or a slave to that person who was singing this song, just doing all their chores for them. So you probably just released them from their own prison.
Oh, it was definitely a talking squirrel
How do you know?
He doesn't.
because I was talking to them before you came back. Almost all the squirrels here talk. And birds.
All right.
Impressive.
Meat and bread and apples and juice, and from now on.
Sometimes the trees will yell at you for eating the apples.
That does sound about right.
All right. Well,
But the squirrel was delicious.
glad you liked it.
As you continue on, to one side you pass the beanstalk grove. There's massive beanstalks, the width of multiple redwood trees, and they just shoot up into the sky. Some of them are smaller, like they haven't fully grown yet, and the ones that reach all the way up there, they disappear into the clouds.
You know, I didn't get a chance to ask her what these were about, but I will admit I am curious.
Cloud giants or hill giant that got displaced. Boys sell their cows and go up there, come back down with the talking harp made of gold and the goose that lays gold eggs. Sometimes
The eggs for eating or
for
selling?
selling. I guess you could eat them. Actually, never really quite explained that part.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it could melt it down, but then it's just goo.
I shouldn't overthink this.
I wish we had time to go up there.
Wait a
then we
minute.
could fry one up.
Oh,
Maybe.
no. Because then we have to steal it, and if we steal it, then the giants come down and they get really angry.
Are giants ever not angry?
Yes, the BFG. He was a friendly giant.
Oh, there's a friendly one.
He was a big one.
Oh. Well,
but he
can
was
you
small.
can you talk to them? Because I'm sure if we talk to them, we could just ask them for one.
I think it'll be kind of like if a bug tried talking to you after it stole your family.
Why do they assume I've stolen their family?
Well-
How could you steal it if you're a bug?
I
Bugs
wouldn't
can't
want
steal
to.
full
Very
giants.
Well,
small.
that's why like
And
if
eventually, as you continue riding, the sky gets darker, and the mountain looms closer, and closer.
How tall is this mountain?
Quite.
Is it tall?
Yes.
Is it made of dark stone?
Yes.
It is the Tall Dark. It probably has a different name, but this is what everyone calls it.
Would you say it's Hanson?
Yeah, oh yeah, it's very.
Does
I
it
would
have
say
a
it's-
like 6 ridges?
It's very it's well chiseled. It's got a really
Like swole? Like
it's swole. It's got rock hard abs. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Heyo.
And so you see it as it gets larger and larger, it fills up more of the skyline. And eventually the ground begins to rise and you are very clearly beginning to climb essentially up the side of this mountain.
Are we going to be able to take our horses up?
You'll be able to take them up probably part of the way, but
Okay.
at some point you'll have to break out and get on foot. And the sky eventually just becomes sort of overcast, and the sun is blotted out, and so everything here just kind of has like a grayish tone to it. The beautiful blue skies that were following you for most of this are gone.
Anyone notice the background music change suddenly
Yeah,
too?
it becomes like weirdly ominous in the background. And yeah.
That was really bizarre.
This world does have had background music though the entire time.
That's true. I hadn't noticed it before, but it's very just delightfully subtle. I feel as if I'm in a Nordic world looking for Daedra.
Yeah. This place truly is one that could be written in, well, not for me.
Fine. Ride
Yes.
with me.
What?
Ride with me.
I think Pine was nearby the entire time, and
Yeah.
as soon as like
The
he
sage
asks-
breaks away slightly. Like
Yeah, I think Pine, like,
not very
nudges-
far.
nudges his
And he
horse a
kind of
little
looks
bit
back
forward.
at you, and he's like, "I'm just talking to Pine."
Yeah, well, your words are poison just as much as you are, so forgive me if I don't trust that either. Fine, be careful.
He's telling the
Trust
truth.
me. I've wanted this.
Have you been? Pine. And I think he sort of rides ahead a little bit, out of hearing distance is
Yeah.
his intention.
It has been an adventure. I have learned a lot. My boots are now stronger. I can now forge a path behind you.
And your sister? Quake.
She is great. She has realized that she enjoys not horses, but wheeled vehicles. That is something that she has really enjoyed from her time in the Shiny and Chrome.
Oh, you went to the wasteland.
I was not as good as an experience for me. They cut my hair.
That must have hurt.
Well,
Emotionally, of course. You have always prided yourself in your aesthetics.
it is something that people enjoy in me. So I keep it long and I take care of it.
Why did you keep looking for me, Pine?
I knew that together we could find a way to save Zanzut. As prophesized, I knew you were the one who would lead us out of despair. And so I follow. And I support. And together we will find a solution to Zanzut.
Oh, Pine.
With Watertook, me,
There's no solution to Zanzut. There never has been.
it always will look bleak, but it is always darkest before dawn.
Zanzut is nothing more than a buffer between Earth and the strange. This recursion is nothing more than that. All of them are. Eventually they'll be consumed, and Zanzut sooner than others. There's no solution. You already found the solution. You left.
No, we left to return.
You can go back if you want. I have never and still don't have any intention of returning to Zanzut. There's nothing there for me.
You swore you'd return to Zanzut. We will get back there.
I have sworn many things in my life. And I don't mean them.
You swore to me would return. When we stepped,
I left you behind, Pine. And you have always been so sweet, kind, foolish, and naive. You really do believe the best in people, but I left you behind, Pine, because you weren't useful to me anymore. And Pine, I know how you feel about me, how you've always felt about me. And I could never love anyone as... Well, I could never love you. I don't intend to go back to Zanzud. I barely intend to deal with Tildris. I'll do what I have to do for the contract. And then we're done. You have a new family now.
no. You have sworn to me. I have sworn to you. I understand fear takes hold and fear makes you say things.
I'm not afraid, Pine. You're afraid. You always have been. Too afraid to do anything for yourself. You always needed someone to tell you what to do. I'm not that someone anymore, Pine. Being your sage is a burden I'm not interested in.
I apologize if I have not proven myself through time. I have gotten stronger, and through this I will prove that I am still of use. That I can be the spear that will save Sanzut. As you are the word, as quick as the axe, we will, and Took is, well, the magic.
Took knew that I wasn't intending to save anything. They figured it out first.
Where are they?
I don't know, I left them behind first.
When we get back to the estate, we'll talk it all through.
I'm not going back there either. I intend to enjoy myself until the world ends, which it will, or I'll die first. Those are pretty much the only two certainties. You and your friends are welcome to be heroes and try this whole heroic thing and die sooner. I don't intend to do that.
You are stronger than what fear is saying. You could save Sanzut. And I will not.
I don't. Pine. He pulls the horse up and gets very close to you. I don't care about Zanzut. And I don't care about you. We're done. He pulls the horse away. And he slows it back down. What does Pine do?
I think Pine is quiet, but Pine does not step away. I mean, Pine keeps close.
Does he try to follow the sage as the sage drop backs? He sort of pauses. What are you doing?
I am bound. No matter what words you throw, or what things you say, you are not just Sanzut's sage, you are my sage. And
What
you might think I'm
actions?
dim, but my loyalty was never in question.
No.
And so, why do you think you're... It'll be harder to throw off Sensut than this.
Are you
I know
telling-
you've hated me.
Are you going to force me to go back?
I will not...
Because I won't take you with me. And I have no intention of returning.
I'm at your beck and call.
I release you? Well, it seems like we're at an impasse.
What is a knight without a lord?
I think they call him Ronin on Earth.
We have a word in Sensut. Nothing. And I am more than that.
I'm glad you think so. He will. He probably neither speeds up nor slows down, and he'll just keep riding at the front of the group.
I think Pine moves his horse behind, but
What do the rest of you do?
Once they return to the group, Anon would just like move her horse up and like ride near Pine, but that's as much as she would do.
Okay.
Something's up. I'm not sure if now is the best time to figure out what's going on, or to keep explaining. As I was kept mumbling, was wondering if he should speak up and say something to cut the silence, but waiting for Dale to do it. Then realizes Dale's asleep. He goes, "Oh yeah, I forgot."
A sound of a low but piercing snore breaks the tension.
Okay, that good old Dale.
He's there for you. Continue riding up the mountain. Anyone gonna do anything in particular?
Yes, I'm gonna talk.
To anyone in particular? Or
Just out in the group, mostly to Anon and Jade, since they've been here before. So, just asking, like, do you think they have this here? Like, do you think they have the giant? The goat. The goat. That's what it is. The goat. There's more goats. So there's a goat that fought the trolls. There's also a goat that fought a giant boy made of clay. Now, this little old couple wanted children, but they couldn't have children, right?
Oh, I think I've heard this one.
So they molded clay in the shape of a boy, put him in the oven, and came out, and he was hungry. So they fed the boy everything that they had in the house. The boy was still hungry, so the boy ate them, then left, and then ate a cart full of hay, a horse, 2 old ladies and a whale, a baker, a cow, a horse, a goose, a duck, a dog, and a cat. And then he was thwarted by a goat. Now, this is what I'm thinking. All right. If this whole situation with Wise doesn't work out, we find someone to bake a person. A la gingerbread man, right? Here's the thing.
What now? Who?
A gingerbread man. He runs really fast as he can. You can't catch him. He's a gingerbread man.
Oh.
All right. He runs
Okay.
faster than old man. He runs faster than old lady. He runs faster than horse, cow, dog, children, except for fox. Gingerbread man can't run faster than fox. But I'm thinking, you get someone that can bake a gingerbread man, right? Then
How long does this conversation go?
Oh, it's just as long as this. Just kind of like working out the pieces, and then you make the gingerbread person a princess. You can bake your princesses.
You don't want to make princesses.
I mean, they're ethically that's not right. You're right. Yeah.
But also, in this world, if things can be made out of nothing, or out of something,
Can we make the dragon a princess?
You can't.
I'm just thinking of other options here. I'm just thinking of other options. I mean, because it's kind of like if we don't stop this, the dragon goes out and eats the other
Anyone?
people.
So are all of you kind of hanging out and listening to?
I think now
Us.
we're in brainstorming mode.
yeah, just trying to figure out how to handle
Sage keeps some distance. He rides up ahead.
Wait, we're not letting them.
Right up ahead. No, Anon has an eye on him.
Okay.
There's no way she's.
Oh no, he's like a horse or two away from you. Like he's not participating in this conversation.
He's not helping brainstorm
Nope.
for his quest.
Why don't we just kill the dragon?
Or try and have a conversation with it first. Perhaps it's reasonable and logical.
Have you ever had a conversation with a dragon?
Yes,
Yes.
but it was in different. Oh, interesting.
It's in a library. It's a bookworm.
It's true. Arguably.
Oh.
Different type of. No, it was. This was more of a literal worm.
I thought I had like.
It had a maw, like a sarlacc pit.
The sage.
That's what I think dragons look like.
Why did you not just give the dragon infinite princesses? What plots have you tried?
I would like a non, because you said you were keeping an eye on him. Anyone else keeping an eye on Rowan?
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me a perception roll.
Oh boy.
Did you put any effort in?
No.
Is perception intelligence?
Yes.
I'm gonna drop a level of effort.
I think,
Okay.
I think for the first time, Pine is not looking instead trying to engage the conversation.
6.
6
10.
20.
without effort.
Without effort, because I'm the worst.
No.
He has a bonus to just looking really chill right now. You think something might be up, but you can't quite put your finger on it. And he's just very quiet.
I'm gonna ride up next to Rowan. Hey, you probably know about this. Are there any gingerbread bakers around here?
He kind of starts, and you realize like his eyes were closed. And he kind of, sort of, sorry, probably yes. Do you know the Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man lives on Drury Lane.
I mean, not personally, but I've heard of the Muffin Man.
Well, he lives on Drury Lane.
I know the Muffin Man.
The Muffin Man?
Yeah, the
Muffin
Muffin
Man?
Man. I mean, I did years ago. I met the Muffin Man.
Who's the Muffin Man from Drury Lane?
Why is he important to princesses?
It's the gingerbread breaker you're looking for.
Oh,
The Muffin Man.
small world.
So you've tried this plan, where you give the dragon infinite gingerbread princesses.
Is that what you were all talking about? You were very loud.
You missed it?
I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, looked like
What
you
were
were
you
asleep
doing?
there.
Relaxing. Yeah.
Now, I think me, out of character, have an idea of what's happening. Has Oz done this enough where it's kind of like, hey, that's how I do things sometime?
Yeah, where you just sort of fall asleep and you end up in a different recursion.
Yeah.
That happens to Oz.
Huh.
Oz can start piecing this together for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Next question. With my knowledge of recursions, when someone translates and they go through besides just like a interruption or to ruin it or break it, I know. Okay. When you bring someone else with you,
Uh-huh.
is it done through touch or does there have to be like?
They need to be in the trance too.
Gotcha.
Well, but
Yeah.
also
You can't
he's
just
not,
grab someone.
And then translate with them.
Yeah. The translation trance on all of you would know this, that like it's like focusing yourself. It's kind of a meditation. Like you don't have to be. It's not even necessarily like a magical thing until the end of it when like the actual translation happens. It's just the amount of time you have to focus. And like for you only have to spend 10 minutes doing it.
Yeah, it's a good nap. I just say to the group, hey, can we take a break for a bit? Take a quick 5.
We'll probably need to tie up the horses soon. The rest of the way's gonna be on foot.
I will find a spot for them. Maybe something with water.
Right here's fine.
Oh.
All right.
Yes.
Anon, Pine, can you two help our friend over there?
Sure.
Not our friend, but the Rowan.
Yeah. Oh, the sage. Yes.
Yeah,
He
Rowan's
dismounts. He'll
just
start
kind of sleepy over there.
tying up his horse.
Hey, Jade, let me give you some assistance.
Sure.
And over to Jade, I think he's trying to leave.
Translate?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that break his contract?
I mean, here. But if he's not here,
You think the contract's supposed to stop him from leaving? Like you know you can't leave right now.
have I tried?
I don't know. Have you?
I haven't.
It was in
Wait,
the contract.
but Dale left.
Dale was still in this recursion,
Oh.
as far as you know.
Ooh.
He was just in the fairy worlds.
I mean,
I assume
don't
you
know.
have the most like with this guy and with that. So
I know he's trying something, but I don't know what.
he's trying to get out of here, I guess.
Or call somebody.
Would Rowan have friends?
Business acquaintances.
Who would do business with someone you can't trust or rely on? The worst.
fine.
The worst people. Yes. Well, is there anything you can do to stop it, to make it more difficult for him? Like, is we put like annoyances, a constant distraction?
I could punch him in the face and knock him out.
But we can't punch him in his face. We all signed this contract that's saying we can't hurt them. You left because of Devante, King Devante.
I didn't sign a contract.
You didn't sign the contract.
No. It took you that long to figure it out, Oz?
A lot happened in that space of time. I got us
True.
lost. There was a wolf girl. Her grandmother was wolf grandma.
Saying if you're gonna be an admiral, you gotta get on top of that stuff.
I mean, that's why I have an awesome crew, right?
Did you need an apple?
Fine. I'm so glad though that you're here to work on this quest.
I am as well. Did you want an apple? I'm just grabbing from the hero basket.
I'm good, thanks.
Piece of bread instead.
No, I'm not hungry.
Water flask?
Thank you.
So Rowan, what are you doing?
Right now,
No.
eating an apple.
A few minutes ago. You trying to leave?
I didn't.
No, you didn't, did you?
You didn't or you couldn't? I mean, it's fine if you can't perform under the stress. I mean,
You were very loud.
ugh.
Your singing leaves something to be desired.
More singing. That's why I kept singing the same song. Practice makes perfect, right?
Mm. For some people, yes.
Well, you don't know until you try, my friend.
Your words have barbs. Please. Be kind.
I'm not here to be nice anymore.
Oh, goody.
Well, we still just gotta make sure that you're still here.
All
Tried
right.
what?
Well, assuming that you're on game and everyone is still on mission, let's continue.
Tildris's cave is up that way. They're probably home.
Lead the way.
All right. Throws the apple. Rolls down the hill. Begins walking.
Anon's gonna fall into step near Pine where she can keep an eye on Rowan.
I think Pine just walks in footsteps exactly in time. Like this is something trained and memorized into the player's life.
Yeah. I bow up.
You know that
Yay.
like you probably can't translate while he's walking. Like that's too much of an activity. Like he could just about manage it on horseback.
Gotcha.
But that was about it. Interestingly enough, you're like he could have tried earlier. You don't know why now.
When we get close to the cave, I'm gonna activate my null field with which gives me armor against psychic damage.
Okay.
Just in case.
Hey, Oz.
Yeah.
I think something's wrong.
You okay?
Yeah. I'm okay, but just keep your eye out.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Pine.
Hmm.
I know that we don't see eye to eye on the Sage, but I'm always here if you need to talk.
I would appreciate that. But now we prepare to talk, fight a dragon. What is our plan?
Diplomacy first.
I think it's a good thing to at least attempt.
I mean, I do not even know what defines a dragon here. Princess. Is a princess one who wears a crown? Is it one who just calls themselves a princess? Or they wear that embroidered pink jacket with the small gems in the name?
I don't think I've seen that jacket.
Hmm.
Had them at the mall. You can put anything you want on them.
Oh. How quaint.
Or is princess a belief?
Anybody hear that?
It's like a low rumble. As you get closer and you sort of switch back and forth. And then eventually you see it. As you get closer, there is a clearly cave opening. It is a large cave opening. As in the side of this mountain. You're not near the top. You're maybe 2/3 of the way up at most. It continues and becomes snowy and cold further up. You're kind of at the edge, just above the tree line. And from there, there's like a low, deep rumble. And the sage kind of gets up and sort of like there's a clearing, like there's a spot outside of the entrance of this cave that you could stand and sort of off to the side. And Rowan, he stands there and he sort of gestures over to the cave and he gets quite quiet. It's like this. Tealdris' lair.
So, I guess this is the part of the plan where I think you should kind of give us some feedback. Should we try to negotiate the safety of the kingdom before or after he devours you?
Tealdris! He walks into the opening of the cave.
Oh, good. Maybe we'll get lucky.
I've brought you more princesses.
I would like to do a little spinning maneuver.
Sure.
I'm gonna do a blend in. So the dragon can see me, but I was always there. I was always there.
So you just look like you belong.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, there's a rock. Oh, there's an Oz.
Or
oh,
more
another
like,
rock.
Oz has always been here. Yes, the Oz.
Yeah, this is here.
I
Like,
bought
I'm
him at a street fair.
Yeah.
Some people get gnomes.
As
I
long
get
as I'm not
humans.
maiming or trying to destroy anything, I'm just gonna blend in.
Okay.
But there's more to that.
I think it ends up being a roll when the dragon sees you. None of you can see the dragon right now. Like, Rowan's just sort of walked to the entrance of the cave, and he's walking in, calling out, Tealdris!
And while doing this, I'm just gonna grab Rowan
Uh-huh.
without hurting, and guide him back out?
He's walked pretty far ahead of you, so
Oh.
he like. And how quickly do you try and stop him?
As quickly as I can as he starts doing the
Okay, and he sort of you
starts
take his
becoming
arm
a
and he's like,
snitch.
"You just were planning on letting the dragon eat me, so I may as well deal with this problem myself either way."
No, I asked for your input, not for your execution.
Oh,
I mean, I think you kind of did that yourself. But maybe you want to think about this beforehand, or are you just kind of calling it quits right now?
I solve my problems with talking. If I can't talk my way out of this one, then I will probably get eaten.
Fair enough. But it's not just you here, you know that, right?
I assume you were going to watch.
Oh, no. See, there's this other thing. You probably don't know about this. You see, even after all this, there's other people still here who are going to be affected by your actions. I want to make sure that these people are okay even after your crummy actions. I know. Wheels are turning. You're trying to figure out why. What's the point? They don't exist. Blah, blah, blah. I get it. You're an asshole. But here's the thing. You're not just in this by yourself. So, I know you say you just want to party hard until the world ends. And you know what? Deep down inside of me, 13-year-old of me would have thought that was pretty cool. But where we are right now and how things are going right now,
So you want to help me?
I want to help them. I want to help Pine.
And the people of Astoria. You want to solve this problem
Yes.
with Teoldris. You don't just want me to get eaten.
I
But
mean,
I'm pretty sure that's why Anon's here.
If you get eaten, will I be upset? No.
Yes.
You knew that. But if there's a way that you can use whatever ability or skills that you have with talking for good for once, that would be awesome. Will that take away all the damage you've done? No. But until the world ends, and if you want to start to a fresh start, it can help. What's one drop in the bucket of good against all the empty void of nothingness and meaningless of this entire reality that we all share? Why not?
Okay.
Thing is, you already promised the dragon more princesses. Let's figure out how to spin this.
Nah, he knows I'm lying. But if you want to pretend to be princesses,
No, that sounds like the worst.
Well,
so do you want to fight him or do you want to try and talk to him? That's your
Try to
choice.
talk to him, but I'm gonna need to know something from you, and this is something where, before you dig yourself any deeper, you can just give me a yes or no answer.
Very well.
You've been a part of the estate, and you also been around for a bit, right?
I have.
Do you know how to start a recursion?
Start one?
Yep.
I think I have academic knowledge on the subject.
Cool. All
If
right.
I'd done it already, I'd probably be there. Although it takes years.
To get it started. I mean, it's
To
kind
make
of
it
like
big
watching a
enough to
pit
even
grow.
really be inside.
Exactly. You need a seed, right?
Yeah.
Do you know how to get a seed?
From the strange.
Do you know how from the strange?
They grow in certain locations.
Could you convince a dragon that maybe you can acquire one?
Are you trying to suggest that I tell a dragon I can create a recursion full of princesses for him?
That's exactly it.
you're they would become real. It's like you're talking about.
No, they wouldn't know. It's not a bad idea.
We're talking about life.
In a small recursion, I mean, it would probably take hundreds of years for it to even produce princesses.
Can you do it? 100 years to a dragon for infinite princesses?
I can convince them I can.
They're still going to be live like us unless you design this specific recursion to the effect of them not actually being live and existing on some other level.
The issue is in order for them to get here, they'd have to have a spark. And then they would be alive. Why don't we see what Tealdris is mad about? I don't know why he's pissed.
Well,
I
let's
gave him a
start there.
princess.
At least have the conversation.
You
You-
gave him a princess?
Yeah,
You don't give dragons princesses.
that's why I told you that, Pine. I was here before I went to Zanzut.
And you did it anyways.
No, that's how I found out you don't make deals with dragons. That's how you get a bad princess. I might have an idea of what's happening.
All right, let's hear it before we go in, before we just cut to going in, and we all somehow know the idea.
At that point,
No, you get the cut.
you hear a growling sound, and you suddenly notice like there are some tendrils of smoke around your feet.
Oh,
And you hear a low, deep rumble. And you all turn, because you don't hear a grumble or a growl, you hear, "You're here!" And it sounds much more like a 16-year-old girl talking.
Oh.
Or 18-year-old.
Oh no.
Standing slightly further inside the cave.
Oh no.
Tealdris, we have company.
Oh God, no.
Is
What's going on?
And you see a young woman with a little tiara on her head. And raggedy ass clothes. Like she is wearing things that she has been wearing for a long time that don't fit her. Like they're just torn and like sooty. But she still stands there like you recognize this demeanor, this countenance. It's very royal.
Are you? And Nan will start the like
Countenance.
bowing procedures.
I think mine will do the same.
oh no. Okay.
Princess, might I know your name?
I'm Princess Estelle, daughter of the King and Queen of Astoria.
It is so very good to meet you. I am Anon, and these are my companions. And he is here to have a conversation with Tealdris.
And the sage is like, I wish I wasn't here.
Anon most
He like
certainly
he's
wouldn't.
already sort of bowing and curtsying like princess. Just like, well, Tealdris is hungry, and I'm angry.
So have you've just been running a princess snack bar? The two of you?
What?
Is that what's going on?
No, we're trying to lay waste to the kingdom, depose my parents, and have me take over.
Oh.
We're at war. What
Well-
did you think was going on?
Well, we thought that princesses were getting abducted and eaten.
I am the only princess here.
I thought the word infinite.
Unless
meant
my
many.
parents have had more children. Ugh.
Hmm.
And at this point, you hear like a click sound of claws, and you hear that low growling getting closer. So, Tealdris, eat them. And then she turns with a flourish and begins walking back inside the cave.
Tealdris,
I'm sorry.
I'm
She
sorry.
turns around as you start talking to Tealdris. You don't get to talk to him. I'm in charge here. Excuse me.
on what authority are you in charge here?
And she points to the crown on her head.
So you think you're the heir to the kingdom?
No, I know. I know I am. I'm the princess.
So, if you're the heir to the kingdom, why don't you just inherit the kingdom when your parents naturally pass on?
Because they sold me to a dragon to get eaten to stop the fighting, and I don't really like that.
Good point.
I'm kind of mad at them, and I don't think they deserve to be king and queen anymore.
Yeah, but do your people deserve to go through that pain?
Well, you know what? Sometimes people have to be sacrificed.
You
And
know?
and
She
Rowan's
does
just
bring a
like,
good point.
princess.
This is the bad princess you are talking about? She.
Look, I'm bored with this. Tealdris!
I actually would like to talk to Tealdris.
Tealdris, don't eat them right away. Tealdris, like, you finally see as the light starts hitting this and the cave opens and you see the dragon emerge, and it's beautiful scale dragon. It's massive. This dragon is very, very large. Its head emerges and you see its two yellow beaming eyes look at you, the slits, as it turns and kind of focuses in on the group. You see the tendrils of smoke pouring out of its nose. It's covered in glistening scales, red scales, as its two large horns curl back and its talons sort of click on the ground and shine, almost silver.
Greetings, Tealdris. My name is Jade Atwood. These are my companions. And we ask that you stop laying siege to the people of this kingdom. Why? Well, my apologies, but your princess here actually doesn't have a legitimate claim on the throne.
Princess Estelle just looks at you. I'm sorry, what?
I am sorry to be the person bringing you this news. But you're actually not first in line for the throne.
What?
So I understand your parents were terrible to you. I don't support that, but I will say that the people of this kingdom don't deserve you taking your conflict with your parents out on them. And I think Tealdris needs to have the information of what this situation actually is.
And the dragon kind of looks. And like you just see the dragon just sort of, Teal just kind of licks his lips. You're not really sure who he's looking at when he does that. Like maybe it's Estelle, maybe it's all of you.
Not me.
He could like single mouth all of you if he felt like it. I think that's how big he is. Just scoop you up in one.
I do not think I could fight this
Estella?
Estelle.
Princess. I regret to inform you, you are not first in line for the throne.
Then who is? You?
No, I'm not a princess. I'm a mistress. And it turns out that actually my son, Harper Atwood, is first in line for that throne, as he is the firstborn heir of King Dante.
I don't think an illegitimate child counts.
Well, I guess that's up to the dragon.
Oz.
Hey, can I do a little genre knowledge?
Yeah.
I'm gonna put 3 tiers of effort into this one.
Okay, what are you trying to figure out?
If there is a way to take if a baseborn son would have more right than a princess birthed by the queen, and or if there's anything possibly in this fantasy scenario that would null and void. Yeah, like either just like mess up the lineage or just make it like, hey, that's a princess, but do you really want a diet princess dragon sort of situation?
Okay.
3 souls,
Get
6
her
years of
eaten
effort.
by Tealdress.
Here's the thing.
Is this
Yeah.
Coke
I mean-
or Pepsi question?
I mean,
that you're
like,
throwing
it's kind of the thing. Is like, would he eat her? Because it's not like, come on, you're a dragon with like.
Better go fight
Elevated
Harper Atwood.
You're
like-
not gonna drink RC Cola, are you, dragon? All right, so that is a 9 for genre specialist
2 levels.
3.
3 levels of effort. Yeah, okay. You would know. Like, Jade's actually probably right. This is how wars happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
this is legitimately, this is how wars
This is like
happen.
90% of Great Britain's wars
Yeah,
right here. so-
essentially. Like,
Yeah.
if without the Jade's son, without the firstborn son who is an illegitimate heir, like they're making a stake for a claim for the throne, no one would care. He would actually probably have to come in and be like, I stake my claim on the throne, like I'm taking it, because and then there would be probably a war.
War of the Roses.
Yeah.
Or she
Yeah,
would be like,
Evia.
oh, okay, well then I'll step down. But you look at her and you're like, she probably wouldn't step down.
There's also like
Like-
8 seasons of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, like she would probably
I'm sorry, I'm going by
start a war.
Yu-Gi-Oh! The
But
duelist
with-
game.
without the prince like there to make a claim for the throne, people would just default to whoever's there.
Right.
So once she became queen, like again, he could just roll up and then there would probably be a war. But without him being there, people would be fine crowning her.
Gotcha.
Right.
Like, well, is he here then? Because I'll fight him. Either in combat or in literal war. I have a dragon.
I don't think my son wants your kingdom,
Well,
and he certainly doesn't want you to burn the kingdom. So, I mean, I'm talking to you, but really this is a question for your dragon. Like, do you want to be backing the wrong horse in the race?
Tealdress is just sort of like, I think at some point just kind of like put its head on the ground and like it's the full height of his head is probably at least as tall as a person and just sort of there, like tooth is maybe this big.
That's a big tooth.
It's a big tooth
That's
and
a
you just
big
sort of
Make him sound like Tim Curry.
I would like you to give me a persuasion of some kind. This
It's
is
like-
some sort of
it's an
social
arrogance
interaction.
check.
Yeah,
Let's just call it what
you're-
it is.
An
It's-
arrogance check to
Yeah.
to talk to the dragon. Yeah, to try and
Maybe I should have
out-princess
done
the
something with
princess.
that, like made it.
You didn't put any effort
I
in,
know,
did you?
I would totally put effort into that. Yeah, I put 2 effort into that.
You rolled! You can't tell me you put 2 effort into it and then roll. I will let you tell me you put 2 effort into it and re-roll.
Can I do something?
What would you like to do?
Can I we have a hero basket.
Yes.
Can I just be like, for you and thinking, because thinking takes energy, and put like a sausage roll, just
Next to the dragon?
yes.
A sausage roll that's the
Like,
size of
it's
like
like
half of his
this
tooth.
is
No,
big.
it's like my arm size sausage roll.
Yeah,
It's
so
good
it's
for-
still
Great, it gets his
like
appetite
it's like a
whet.
bacon bit for him.
Guess what? It's still
appreciate it.
you might appreciate
We're
it.
trying to be
Even when someone's like, "Do you want a
welcoming.
Tic Tac?" It's like, "Oh, this is
This is how I'm helping.
Yeah,
I'm being like
the Tic Tac isn't doing
for
anything.
thinking.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like a
Okay.
Tic Tac, and you just see the dragon like tongue sticks out and like curls up around it and
Here's the thing.
slurps it in.
When's
very
the last time he's got
quietly.
very good sausage? Like, probably don't have seasoned meats very often.
Well, hey,
Yeah.
he's been with Estella or whatever, Estelle.
pie is trying,
Estrella.
okay?
So you know she's not like being nice to him.
Probably not.
So
You have no idea what their
Can I-
relationship is like.
Oh.
Never mind, you rolled. I was gonna.
What'd you
offer.
get?
I rolled poorly.
Okay, with 2 levels of effort. What did you roll?
Rolled a 1.
Oh no.
I should have just stuck with
Yeah.
my 12.
Well, you know, you
Um,
made a choice. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Cool.
And we just gave him a little appetizer.
Yep, it's
Yeah.
true.
Tealdress like
There's a lot of
lifts
bluffing happening for Jade right now. So
up his head, and he looks at you, and he looks at the rest of you, and it
Estelle, and she's just kind of like you realize like her demeanor changes when she's looking at the dragon, and like her eyes go to this like beautiful, like big pleading, like innocent, cutesy look, and the dragon sort of nods and then looks at the sage, looks at Rowan. You did this. You promised me princesses, and I have one. But she says she can make more. I know humans breed slowly.
Oh.
Honestly, I'm more interested in the kingdom. It seems more enjoyable. So what do you offer me? I have been offered princesses. I have been offered a kingdom. What do you mortals have that would interest me? Yes, rock over there.
A cautionary tale. And Dragon, I'm not from around these parts. Not many of us are.
Perhaps you will taste more interesting then.
I prove that my words will taste a lot better than my flesh. You see what happens in situations like these. You have one princess pulling your strings. Yes, Dragon, you are a puppet. I'm not sure if you knew that. Whilst at the same time, another liar here makes false promises. She was a false promise from him. You're being a puppet by the gift of a liar. Now, I'm not sure if you know this, but I recently heard a long story about liars who are also real housewives. And I start describing the entire series that they were saying about the entire night, about all the plotting and the backstabbing and the back talk and all that, and I'm just gonna go on and deep, vivid detail, and I'm gonna perform the heck out of this.
I need you to roll to perform.
And then I start going into The Bachelor too.
And entertain.
There are multiple roses, but only some matter.
And you know, and the worst part about it is that they show you a garden with a bush full of roses. There are enough roses. There are enough roses. I'm gonna put all levels of effort into this.
Okay, 3 levels of effort.
I'm gonna use my luck for this too. Just
Okay.
to take that.
I'm gonna
Take
put
the
4.
edge off.
You can't put 4 levels of effort in.
Oh no, not just to take
you
off.
Can take,
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
As points to spend.
I'm gonna
So 3 levels of effort. Anything else you have to help you with this?
I think Anon would.
Because
She's so Anon has seen you like talk to people before and get them to like listen to you and,
Yeah, I have-
and understand you.
I have persuading. What genre specialists work in this? The genre of reality TV.
I will let you apply the persuade. So
You got
4
it.
levels.
I think she would say like, try dropping your voice one more octave, and that would be the good advice she gives you.
For leads.
Hey, my man. What it looked like. It's from The Last Dragon.
Okay.
Anything else?
Sick.
That's it.
All right.
Roll it with it was 5 levels lower.
I'm gonna use that point of experience.
What did you roll?
Nothing.
Not a 1.
Not
Okay.
a one.
Was it a 2?
Okay,
Yeah.
you're gonna
Yes.
re-roll it.
Yes.
So here's the thing: you can reapply 2 of those things, or you're gonna respend the effort to get all 5 levels again.
Yes.
Okay.
So glad you put one's intelligence.
All of it. Okay. It's not a 2. It's an 8.
Wait.
So
You have a moment where you see, like, as you're talking, and you can keep talking, the dragon gets, like, closes his eyes and sort of, like, takes a deep breath, and there's of smoke. And, like, you see, as you watch, the thought be like, I could make this human stop talking by eating him right now.
could.
But eventually he like puts up his hand, his claw.
And Colton
Stop.
jumps the fence.
Stop! Before I hate you. Because you are quite entertaining. I have no wish to eat you. Yet. Yet. Thinks one more time. Yet. Your words are bizarre, strange, and incessant. You would ask that I cease this war.
And offer you the freedom to roam the skies.
They will kill me here. This is the nature of our conflict.
If we could ensure that you were not killed, that there was a ceasefire on their side, and that you were allowed to fly and go where you please and eat livestock, would that be?
I mean, that was my plan. I just also wanted to kill my parents.
Feed them your babies.
What if you start by talking to them? Honestly, I have done
But
my
they're
best.
so not cool.
Yeah, parents usually aren't. They usually say a lot of things and have a lot of rules and guidelines, and then when you
Yeah, and then they sell you to a dragon as part of the deal.
yeah. To be fair, that was his fault.
Yeah.
I
Why
feel
is he even here?
this is his quest. He's supposed to be doing this.
You're all doing quite wonderfully right now.
Shut up. But well, we don't really trust him to be able to handle it. And you seem like an intelligent, smart woman with a lot of really huge ambitions. And I think the best way to be able to really succeed at that is to have people behind you who've been there and done that before. And that means being in the palace. And it means talking to your parents, because they have run a kingdom before. And they know all of those ins and outs, and I get the feeling that they didn't want to send you to a dragon. Most parents don't.
She like kind of looks uncomfortable, and Teal just like looks at her. I know she's right. So, will you come stay with me in the palace and I go back? Maybe nearby. This like little conversation. I would like you to roll.
Okie dokie. I have pleasant social interactions and deception, so you decide what I'm doing.
Social interactions.
And I'm gonna drop 3 levels of effort into it.
Okay, then you automatically succeed.
Oh, great.
I mean, you can roll to see if you get that nat 20, but you could also get a 1.
You'll take 5 points of extra damage if you do.
Don't.
I have to. I have to.
I laugh so hard.
What is it? It's a 2.
Well,
So
you
good
still
news.
succeed because you dropped all 3 levels of effort into it. And they seem to have a moment, and Estelle and Tealdris seem to like communicate something. We've decided. Tealdris will stop terrorizing the land, and I will stop trying to take over the kingdom by force.
I'm so very proud of you. That is an adult decision that a
I
ruler
think
would
so.
make.
Yes, I agree.
Well done.
Yes, thank you.
I mean, you.
It's my first noble decree, and I will ensure that no one ever hunts Tealdris ever again. And if they do, then we'll kill them. Tealdris is allowed to eat them. Anyone who hunts them.
Self-defense seems like a reasonable course of action.
It's very valid.
Seems fair.
I think you've made a wise and just decision, Princess.
I'm sorry, but I don't think that didn't sound like a princess decision you made. It sounded like a queen decision you made. You got moxie, kid. You know, I got kids of my own back home.
Are they also princesses?
No.
Oh, that's.
No.
And Tealdris just sort of like
Do you
I
need?
am hungry. And just stalks out of the cage, and this massive dragon like walks away, and whoom, 2 huge wing beats, and you see this large creature just take into the sky. I'll see you after dinner.
Do you need an escort back to the castle?
Oh no, I'll ride on Tildress.
As you wish. Do we feel lighter?
And I think as that happens, like there's a moment you hear like a little ding, little sort of thing of chimes. You don't. You feel nothing. You watch a dragon fly into the sky, and a princess just like, oh, I suppose I should invite you in for tea or something.
That would be lovely.
We brought bread.
Oh, from your hero basket? I love hero bread. The peasants make it every year.
Jade is like stalking for Rowan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so is Anon. As soon as she
I-
heard the chime, Anon was like, "Whoop."
I think Pine actually walks up to Anon. He's like, "Can you help me fetch hero bread?"
I don't trust him. I expect he'll try and run away now.
Is it running away? I'm done.
Fair
Yeah.
point.
Funny thing about that. Jade is going to try to, I think, just like knock him, like on the back of the head and knock him out.
Give me a roll.
Gotta put effort in before you roll.
I know. I don't know what my problem is.
I just thought I was like, you gotta put
Really,
effort.
you gotta say it.
I know.
What is it?
One
It's a
wing's
4.
face.
He sees you coming and he sort of jumps back and he's like, we had a deal.
Oh, I'm not gonna kill you. I'm gonna take you back to the estate. I'm arresting you.
Sounds good to me.
Ugh.
She's gonna try and use force at a distance and pop him
Okay,
into the
give
air
me a
so
roll.
he can't run. Hopefully, I'm gonna drop 3 levels of effort into this too.
Okay.
5.
That's still enough.
Oh, sweet.
You have to. It's his number is different depending on what it is, but for 15 or 5 with 3 levels of effort should be enough. Wait,
No, no.
no, sorry,
No. Damn it. Yeah. Yeah.
not for mental. Yeah, because it's an int save. Yeah, you try and do this as well. Whew, sorry.
I would like to use one assist from my pack.
Okay, you realize like that's a whole process, right? You've got to prepare something and then do a thing with it. Like it's gonna be too.
I say, hey Dale, do an inception. Dale, they're here. Didn't work. Can I just squeeze him and give him the inception?
He's just like shaking Dale, and he's like, "I have no intention of going back with any of you.
Stay for tea.
No, Pine. I've already told you. We're done.
Can I punch him in the face?
You
I
can.
I think I'm gonna just keep talking like,
You can try again.
I will try again. I will put effort into
Okay.
it. I will put 1 effort into it. And this time Jade's going to like pay more attention. 13.
13 is enough with 1
Oh,
level of
thank
effort.
goodness.
For punching him is actually easy. You just close the distance and clock him in the side of the face. How much damage do you normally do?
I normally do 4
Okay.
damage.
He just sort of, like steps back. He's like,
stay for tea.
no. I don't care about fighting any of you. I have absolutely and utterly no desire to do that. You all hate me. That's fine. I don't need you to like me or care.
I think the harm that you're going to do in the rest of this world with your lies and deceptions are going to cause far more pain.
Like any of your hands are perfectly clean.
No.
Like you're all good, honest, kind, wonderful humans. Just because you don't agree with me doesn't mean I'm wrong.
Are you absolutely kidding right now?
No.
There is a difference between lying to someone to the point that their entire foundation is built upon your
It's
lies.
not my fault Pine's stupid. And the rest of Zanzoot is just as dumb.
All right, she's
Can
gonna
I
punch him
plasma
again.
arc him? Can we do this at the
Go
same
for
time? I'm gonna drop 3 levels of effort.
Do it.
No. Yes. No. Yes. Maybe. I think that this
It'll be
is my-
satisfying.
it's gonna-
We'll feel better.
Yes. Oh my gosh!
What'd you do?
3.
Put effort for
I did. I put 3 levels of effort in.
3 levels of effort?
Yeah.
Is this an in action for you?
No, this is. I think it's might. Actually, let me double check that.
Because if it's might, it's a little different than if it's in. His defenses are 2 different things. You're gonna roll to punch him.
I think I've got. Yeah, I'll put 1.
One level of effort?
That's all I got.
Okay.
God damn it.
What did you get?
Man, we're just not.
I won.
Oh. Why?
Bad dice. Bad.
Here.
Oh, this is great. Okay, no, I'm gonna do this.
No.
How much? It's plasma arc.
It's plasma arc.
Plasma arc hits 2 targets.
Yeah, but I didn't. Oh.
Jane just rolled a 1. So I'm gonna use that sweet, sweet GM intrusion.
Oh.
Okay.
So you gotta.
I use my intellect.
Okay, so it's intellect. All right. So with 3 levels of effort and a 3 miss.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't say anything about that it being a might defense.
Yeah, I generally default to whatever your ability is. That's what type of defense it would be. So
Okay,
in his case,
that
it's a
makes
lit.
sense.
How much damage do you do?
How much damage do I do with plasma arc?
Yeah.
Oh, why did I close the book? I was hoping you would forget, I think. I was really hoping. A painful amount, because it's one of the higher level ones.
You're just so happy, aren't you?
It's just this is beautiful. You're like diving in on him, and you're like, "Pachoo," and you're like, "Hoo-doo," and then you're gonna get hit by her.
We've been
pachoo.
at it. We haven't fought
Yeah.
together in a while. I imagine it's
How
like
much
we're a little
damage?
rusty. as
4
a
points
team.
of damage.
That's
Okay.
fine.
Oh,
I think
that's
it's
fine.
unresisted by armor.
Oh, that's fine for you. If I take
Yeah.
4 points of damage,
might-
I'm
I'm
like,
fine.
It might be int damage.
I mean, on the upside, I've only got 1 arm for it to hit. and
yeah,
so
yeah. It's only.
It's like,
It only messes with
part
one
of it
your
just went right
kidneys.
past your arm.
That's where 2 of the
Where your
damage
arm
went.
should have been.
Yeah, 4 points.
I think when he calls Pine stupid, it takes a moment. And then I think Pine just does like a full running charge and like kind of like press against a. Is there a wall nearby?
Yeah, you can throw him up against. the
Great, I'm
stone
gonna
rock.
push
I
against
was a
the wall.
rock, so.
I mean, I don't think I'm gonna see you as a rock. And I think
I
my
am
goal
rock.
is just to stop. Like, not kill, but stop. Because I think I can do that with my hands.
Yeah, give me a roll.
Okay. I am going to put.
You'll just sack it, so you don't do damage instead.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a stun action. I think you have bash, right?
I
Or you
do.
can
I'm
just
gonna use
straight up stun
bash.
him.
Bash dazes targets and makes 1 less damage.
Yay.
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
Graveyard bash.
That's great. I'm not gonna use my blade though. That seems like silly.
Can
Yeah,
somebody
it's just like
encourage
smacking him with the other end of the glaive.
I'm gonna use.
Or you can use your fist, in which case then it counts as a light weapon, so it'll be 1 easier.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
I'll do 3 levels of might. I'll have +1.
You're putting in 3 levels of effort,
Mm-hmm.
then it's enough.
Oh,
You
I
automatically
did
succeed.
it.
Yeah. For physical attacks, he's pretty easy. You just have been rolling so terribly.
I know. I think Jade is having that
Yeah.
moment when she gets hit by the plasma arc that she's like, I had this epiphany. I think I need another arm.
And
Yeah.
So, and then you get
Yeah.
struck with this plasma arc, and Pine just like move swiftly past
Yes,
them and
gracefully
grab
perhaps.
him
and slam him against the wall. He smacks back. It deals 1 less point of damage, and you were using your fists.
Yes.
So it's 1 point of damage.
Yes.
And sort of
Stun.
Stuns, smacks up against the wall, and you have a moment. What would you like to do?
Thanks. I am not stupid. I dulled myself for you. You wanted someone who would listen, who would keep secrets, who would be there. I was there. Sensut is not stupid. Sensut is hopeful, faithful, and strong. Anon, what was the name on the book in the library?
Rowan Wise.
It was not the sage.
Correct.
I bound myself to the sage, not to Rowan Wise. And I think, I assume Rowan has a knife on his side.
Probably.
I think he's gonna, Pine is gonna take it up. He's gonna flip it in his hand, because that's cool. And then he is going to, actually tear a portion of Rowan's clothes off, and then lightly cut Rowan very lightly somewhere, and just dabs.
Like bleed him.
Mm-hmm. And then he's gonna step back, and he's gonna reach to his braid and just cut it off. We are not bound any longer. Do what you wish.
Anon's gonna step forward, and I hopefully maybe will stab him with my dagger.
He's stunned. I would hope you would take him to the authorities and not murder him, perhaps.
Anon, he does have information that the estate could use. Don't kill him. I'm serious about arresting him.
He's the sort that'll escape, work the system, one way or another. He'll find someone to believe him and trust him and want to help him out and want to get him out. His tongue is his most dangerous weapon, and you are suggesting that I trust that the estate has the capability to lock him up.
I'm saying you and I can keep an eye on him.
Sort of rouses.
If you...
Still only lasts an action.
It does, yeah.
You gonna stick me like a pig, or are we good? Well, whatever.
Non's gonna, sheath her weapon and look at him and say, if you escape, I'll kill you.
You're more like me than you want to admit.
I know. I'll kill you.
I think everybody here is okay with that arrangement.
And he
Fine.
holds out his hands for you to cuff him.
Twine! It's Twine in this incursion! Why?
I assume you have a pair of handcuffs that just changes
Normally.
every time.
Yeah. You're like, what the frick is it
Is
here?
it zip ties in the real world?
No, in the real world, it's like you put their hands in it. It's like a.
So good there, and here it's the worst.
I'm like, are you kidding? This isn't even large.
Although there was
gauge
that
toy.
one time you went playing that was the golden lasso. It was like Wonder Woman's lasso. That was pretty
Best.
great.
Best.
Yeah.
And the other one where it's just Twizzler pull and peel. We had so much Twizzler pull and peel.
We did. We just ate the
Delicious.
handcuffs.
Nom 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 nom!
Why did we come this recursion anyway? For all the free Twizzlers.
Dale was a Sour Patch Kid.
Arrest me!
So you bind him up. Eventually, if you stay
gonna
long,
gag him,
yeah, you
too.
gag him.
Yeah. I think
Gross.
Anon would take Pine's face in her hands and she would say, I am so incredibly proud of you. Only you could have recognized that. Only you could have made that choice. Only you could have stood up for you. I hope you always stand up for you.
When will it not hurt?
Never. But at some point, you won't remember to think about it.
It will hurt when I have to tell Quake.
I'll be there if you need to talk afterwards.
Likewise.
Thank you. Friends. Allies. Thank you.
I think that's where we'll kind of fade out on this episode. We see Tildris return at some point. You are served tea by the princess. She rides off in the distance back towards the castle on the back of the dragon.
I could have put it in drinking.
And you all...
Oh.
Wait, what is...
Shit. Oh. She's gonna tell her dad.
This is a fun jest.
Do you want us? I mean, if you want to go back now, you can go back now, and then we can just like, oh, she left. Yikes.
Or we can say that, you know, she might not because it's not in her interest to tell everyone about.
Yeah. You know,
Is she a smart
I'm
teenager?
just gonna. I'll meet you guys on the way out.
Okay.
I'm just gonna. I'm gonna return our rental supplies and I'll just. I'll
Jade
be
has some
around.
alone time questing.
That's fair.
Yeah, I'm
back.
gonna go see the Muffin Man and then I'll probably be at the pub.
Oh. And the rest of you do translate out from here.
Wait, we translate from here?
You can.
Sure.
Or do you all, maybe you head back to the
I
kingdom.
do want to
and-
get my deposit back on my.
Yeah, you all head
support-
back then. You
yeah.
explain things. It's uncomfortable. And
This horse is a hero. Given all the apples it deserves.
yeah. Oh yeah. No, those horses.
And the grandmother gave birth to a girl.
I think
It was a wolf.
Dale eventually wakes up, like when you get back to the castle, and is probably like, "Did we ever leave? Maybe we never left. What is reality anymore?" And just is full of dreams and visions of sugar plum fairies dancing in his head.
Oh God.
Probably in a bad way now.
Yeah, have fun with that, Bonsai. Just be like, what happened to Dale while he was in Fairyland?
I think before we head out, like, Jade will kind of take a moment with Anon, like when we're alone, and just say, I made a deal with Ronan.
Oh. You mentioned something about that. What was it? If you don't mind my asking.
I asked him to tell Pine the truth, to let him go. And in return, I was supposed to keep you from killing him. So I'd rather tell you now, because I don't want there to be secrets between us, and I don't want there to be. I mean, I was serious about the estate being able to learn information from him, but I stopped you because I made a deal.
Fair enough. So then, I'll hold and you'll strike the blow? Is that how we're playing this? I'm kidding. Kind of.
Wouldn't it be nice if we could, though?
I know some very good assassins. Not officially, of course.
No, of course. If it was that easy. I have to say, though, a lot of paperwork when things like that happen.
True. Very true.
I think someday I might be able to tell Pine, but
No. If necessary, you'll know how to handle that.
I just wanted Rowan to stop lying. So,
It's a much more level-headed approach than mine. Just simply to... I don't know. There are a few people like those that are in our group. In this vast, strange, and all of the recursions that are in it, and Earth, and everywhere else, there's just not intelligent, adept, brilliant people. They don't deserve to be fooled by someone who is so caught up in their own selves that they can't see beyond that. He's right, though. There's not much separating how he works and how I work.
or me. Not always an angel.
I appreciate your direct approach, though.
Glad you do. Not everybody does. Let's get out of here before I get into more trouble.
Oh, really?
Extra, read all about it.
I think that's where we can end today's episode. You all make it back to Earth, and we'll find out. You have a message from Rowan.
From Rowan?
Not Rowan. Sorry, Riley.
Riley?
The
On my
one who
phone?
howls and no
who
one
howls.
listens.
On my phone?
On your phone.
Excellent.
Something that someone got back to you from Adam Nocturne.
Oh, lovely.
Mm.
Are we waiting to find out who it is
Yeah.
until next time?
Yeah.
I hope it's Rigel Darth, and I also hope that it isn't. I don't know. I don't know what to hope for.
All right. I think there is one or two donations. There's at least one.
My wish came true.
What was your
Yeah.
What was your wish?
Wait, do you want to say it?
Yours is going to be interesting.
Thank
I think
you.
you get back and there's something interesting in your apartment.
Oh.
Wait, what was your wish?
I can't tell you, or it won't come true.
I thought
Or-
You said it
I
came
thought it came
true.
true.
I know, but I can't tell you what it was.
Yeah, well,
Then it will.
came true.
No,
true.
then
Mine
we'll
came
do
true.
it.
Because then it'll become
We
untrue.
had the last donation that came through was from Stabbin' Terry.
Oh, Terry.
I'm drugged up to my eyeballs with cold and flu meds and couldn't come up with an amusing message. So y'all are wonderful, and I love your performance, characters, and your real you. You're all fantastic. Less than 3, and maybe even twice. Oh, thanks, Stabbin' Terry. That was so. You should get all drugged up and say nice messages to us more often. No, I like all your messages.
have to deliver it.
I'm drugged up to my eyeballs. This is cold and flu meds. But I love you. I love you all so much.
I love you.
So much.
Yeah.
Great.
Great. Oh, man, allergies.
Let's go take some cold flu med. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. Some quick reminders. Again, this Saturday is the finale, the final episode of Night Witches at 3 p.m. on Saturday on this channel. We have 2 more episodes of Worlds Beyond, April 3rd and April 10th. So come join us for those as we wrap up this show as it stands. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for your generous donations today, for helping us continue to fund future shows here on the channel. We don't plan on doing a major fundraiser for the next season of shows. So this
Stay
is
tuned.
This is how we're doing it. Yeah, stay tuned. Stay tuned for some good stuff. Yeah, it would have been me last week. Oh, we did not want me here last week.
No.
No, they did not want
No.
me here
I
last
didn't.
week.
Yeah.
We
There was
could've
someone at
just
the office that we
put-
were like, go.
Like a puppet of me here or something. I don't
And then you could just we'll put a speaker box.
Yeah.
And you'll be
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Hi, I'm Lauren.
Hi.
nice.
So let's do yeah. I don't
20, you
win. Who would like to go first? Sign off for us. Say who you are, where you can be found.
Hey, what's
Do it.
up?
What
it's
RPG
it's
are
me.
you running this week?
Hey, what's up? It's your boy. What is Kiss? Nathan Kiss. You can find me on Twitter under What is Kiss. You can find me on Twitch under What Is Kiss. You can also see me do more of this stuff, make 'em ups and pretensies here at Geek Space for Worlds Beyond. You can also see me on Saturday afternoons with Zombie Orpheus Entertainment for Death from Above Legacy, and also I'm coming back to Masters of the Metaverse for the huge crossover thing, which means that I'm available to do it, so I'll be there now. So check that out. Also check me out on the second Saturday of April. I'm going to be streaming from 11:41 p.m. Into that Sunday until 3 a.m. For my super spooky and romantic single-person RPG game I like to call You Up? So that's how the game goes.
I feel like this started out, and I wanted to believe that it was real, and then I
believe it.
think it became not real.
Nope, it's
and
real.
I can't tell.
You Up?
Why would you do this to me?
I'm putting it in my calendar.
Yeah, so from
I'm gonna
11,
watch
it's
this.
specific from 11:54
Okay.
p.m.
Okay.
to that Sunday to about 3 a.m. We're gonna play the spooky romantic game of You Up? Where the game is a D6 system, but it's also a dating simulator where you have to try to romanticize zombies.
This all sounds perfectly legit.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Hi, I'm Shell Game. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter and Instagram as the Shell Game, and I have dice. I have 3 sets of dice in my life. There you go. That's
What?
a unique fact about me. I have 3 sets of dice, and then like random little dices.
I do like your animal.
These little dices and these little dices. Another set of little dices. Lots of little dices.
I'm Janine. I am Admiral Asma. You can find me on Twitter at Admiral Asma. What else am I supposed to say? I was just like in awe of your pretty dice and thinking about dice, and now I don't remember. I love you all.
Is there any
Thank
more
you.
stuff for Intersections happening? And if
No,
so, what's
Intersection's over. I
mean,
did
it's coming
my-
back soon, right?
next year.
Tell us about it.
Right?
What's going on?
Yeah, I was performed in the Intersections Festival last weekend, which meant I debuted my Ruth Bader Ginsburg clown.
I saw the
piece.
pictures. It was amazing.
Thank you.
You made an excellent RGB.
Yes.
RPG.
No, that would be the RBG, the RPG, right?
Everyone plays Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
And you have to decide something together?
Yeah.
With your own unique colors.
And
Yeah.
together you all have to write, I guess.
And
a
then
dissent.
it's like rolling for the strength of your descent.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, yes, that makes sense to me.
yes.
Cool. Who are you?
I'm Jackie Dash, JAKIDASH.
I'm out of practice, okay?
When I'm not here torturing my own RPG characters, find me on Monday Fun Day on my own channel. You slowly see me descend into madness as my anime convention's in 3 weeks.
Yay!
But I've been your GM, Random Tuesday. You can find me on the internet at Random Tuesday. I'm also working on cosplay for said anime convention, but I really want to get pictures with a cherry blossom.
And that's like this week.
Like now. So was like, let's do this on hard mode and give myself 3 less weeks to make this cosplay. But anyway.
It's literally
We're
right
gonna
now.
be okay for a while.
Yeah, I think I have
They're
at least 1 more week.
starting to.
I've got cherry blossoms in my yard if you
Okay.
need access to a tree.
Then you get to go to her house.
But they're
or her
not
place.
they need like another week.
Okay, let's chat. Anyway, cool. So, yeah, with that, thank you so much for being here. Come on Saturday and watch the final episode of Night Witches. We will see you next week for another episode of Worlds Beyond. You're all wonderful and amazing. Have a great day-night cycle. Are you gonna wave? Well, I push this button and it'll probably work.
Oh, one more truth bomb. One more truth bomb.
I forgot how to wait.